Hello, everybody. Welcome to ZealZaddy. I'm Scott Coventry, and I am the DM of Elixia. This is a D&D 5e homebrew campaign. Just make sure I'm in the window. I'm not in my normal position around my table, so it has me sort of thrown off. This is Season 2, Episode 18, titled Thousand Forked Road. You can follow us on Twitch everywhere at ZealZaddy. We have a new website at ZealZaddy.com where I put game notes and information up there for everyone to read. I'm not sure whether I should tell the players to go there or not. I kind of am torn about whether to do that. We will be casting soon for our Puppet D&D game, which will be in a month, and that one takes a little time because you got to make a sock puppet. So I got to give you a little bit of time for that. I have new dice that I want to show that I think are awesome because I've become a big supporter of only crits. These dice are amazing. Are you see? Ooh, I'm out of focus. Damn. I'm gonna have to post them on Twitter so you can see them. Go to Twitter at ZealZaddy and you can check them out there. Let's bring the players on. It's going to be a really bizarro night, so let's get them started. And here they are. One player is out last week. I promise he'll be back next week. He's under the weather, so we'll be okay without him tonight. So why don't we start with Tiffany tonight?
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I play Cerridwen Sagewynd. She goes by Dwin. She's an anthropologist historian who joined the party to try to discover the roots of the various languages on Elixia, and then kind of stumbled upon the group as their goals aligned, and so she joined with them. And now her goal is to try to find her long lost son. As far as myself, I run my own campaign called Dungeon Damsels. We're finally back after a long hiatus of me moving and then getting sick and then having multiple leaks in my house. So that's fun. But we're back, and we just aired episode 47, part 1 on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
I saw
check that out.
A little while ago.
Yeah, I air it as soon at 5 Pacific Standard Time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's me.
All right, let's go to Jazz.
Hello, I'm Jazz. I use they, them pronouns and she, her pronouns, although today I'm particularly feeling very they. I play Jada, our sorcerer fighter. Why was I trying to say warlock? That's funny.
Yeah, we have enough of that.
Warforged, that's why.
There's war in there somewhere.
Our Warforged sorcerer fighter. They also use they, them pronouns. And you can find me anywhere at Cinderscoria. I usually use Twitter. That's where I'm most active. Hi.
All right, Natalie.
Yes, hello, I am Natalie. I play our druid warlock of the party, Desus Lembros, who is a half tiefling, half elf, who left initially to go looking for her father, and then through chaotic means and following chaotic thread, she is now with this party and wanting to do her best to aid them. I am findable on most social medias with Ghost Candle, where I talk about tabletops and post a lot of my art. You can always follow me Twitter, where I'm most active there. You can support me over on ko-fi.com/ghostcandle, where you can get order commissions, digital artwork, especially my emote packs, which I do weekly. Last week I released the Gold Dragon set, and this week will be Silver Dragon.
Sounds like you're on a dragon roll.
Yeah.
All right. Blake.
Hello, I'm Blake. I play Hipley Amberwater, the group's personal librarian who's recently gone through a lot of changes. And thanks to these wonderful people he's with, he's able to start the process of growing, which has been painful, but a necessary thing for everybody. So yes, he's learned a lot, maybe even damaged something last episode, which is exciting. But yeah, so excited to get on with this one. You can find me on Twitter. I don't really post too much at Blake C. Francis. But again, I implore you to check out your local library if you do have one and you're blessed to have one in your like area because books are amazing. Like Hipley, I love to read myself. So if you can't check it out, you can even get digital books too. You don't have to get physical. Library card can get digital library books too. So really there's no excuse. But yeah, excited for tonight though.
All right, and we are missing Morgan, who plays Vesryn Magic, and we will move forward without tonight.
Can I talk a little about Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, so Morgan runs his own like group of DMs. So if you need a private DM to hire, you can hire one of them, and they're great. He goes by Mind Flayer Mondays. He also sells shirts on Amazon, and I'm wearing one of his shirts, so that's why I was like, oh, I should talk about Morgan, and I really like this shirt. It says, "Your adventures awaits." And I like this.
Nice.
I think it's fun. It's one of my favorite shirts of his. Anyway, all around great guy. He's just sick, so hopefully he can come back.
Yeah, we definitely miss having him here.
Yeah.
So
I'm wearing my DILF shirt, which
oh,
You're what?
I'm a DILF, dedicated, involved, loving father.
It's definitely what that
the,
stands
the
for.
first thing,
Cool,
the first thing I
excellent.
thought about was the first thing that hit
Yep,
my mind.
absolutely. Thank you. I didn't need any clarification, but I'm glad that you did that for anybody who might have.
You definitely need clarification because it doesn't work any other way at all. So last week, do you guys want to do a recap real quick?
Yeah.
You all. Guys sound so weird, like I'm a country bumpkin.
So we began at Tahana's house where my character went around and made their apologies before we set out
Yes.
to go to Madam. I'm going to mispronounce her name. Come on, team, help me. There we go. Teamwork. We went
Like
to see.
Borgard without the B.
Whoa,
Whoa, Mercury! This is gonna be great.
And so we took off there, and which actually went pretty smooth beginning. I mean, we were able to find her. Got some answers, maybe figured some things out. Some more
Yeah,
questions.
we figured out that the orb that was taken from Char ended up having more connection to her than we realized, and the pain and suffering that Dwen was going through in the mornings at the very break of dawn was because she had used and expended the magic that was in it. So she now has to suffer those until
That's a
all that is back.
Blood toll.
Yes.
Yep. Hey.
And then
We went to town to find the lady on the card.
Beauregard.
Beauregard.
Yep.
Beauregard. She gave us some readings. We basically found out that if I wanted to find Taliesin, I'd have to find him through a door. And that door was in the Frozen Wastes. And then we're like, okay, I guess we need to prepare for Frozen Wastes.
Well, that was at least one option.
So there's more than one door, and okay, I missed that.
Well, we were told
Yeah.
that there was a way in a place of ice and a way in a place of like desert of sand. And
Oh,
the
okay.
most likely one for us would be in the wastes.
And then we were like, what are we going to do about Sophia? Because she's after us. And then we run into another Madame Beauregard. Hipley used
Detect thoughts. I was like, wait a
Detect
second.
and he kind of motions that this is not Lady Beauregard. So then we basically
Stabbed through the door of the most
Yeah.
epic like
Yeah,
fashion.
it was
Bam.
badass.
Yep.
Oh, it was sick.
we killed Sophia in a bloodbath and then promptly left.
We were going to leave out
Went
the
to
bag
go
and
for
then-
shots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leper shots, exactly.
Yeah.
And you are in the breach, the tavern that you were in earlier, and you are having your shots. And as you're drinking them, it starts to rain outside. It was kind of overcast anyway, which, who knows, maybe it's not a big deal.
Is anyone else exhausted? Adrenaline's coming down, and I'm feeling. I think it's catching up to me. It's. Whew. Oh gosh, that was. Wow. Still
You
kind of
landed
can't believe
some
that
blows
happened.
there.
I think we all did. Man, that was. And Dwayne, the door just. Wow. That was.
Yeah, that was really violent.
Oh, well,
It worked though. Violent, but
yeah,
it
I
worked.
really don't like demons. I really don't. They caused me way too much trouble. And I didn't want her flying off, so I figured I'd just go for it.
Oh, it was smart. It was very good.
Thank you. I'm not usually like this. You see her like shaking a little bit. She's like,
Yeah, I was gonna say Jada just calmly passes you a shot, just slides it down the bar.
thank you.
Well, at least that takes care of that. At least, I mean,
It's one
but-
problem.
one down. So what are we going to? Oh gosh, we're going to take on next. I mean, there's so many things, and then
Well, I'd like to see if I can get some better armor at least. And then.
oh, and we
craft
needed
point.
to get, what was it, water? I think some ocean
Yes,
seawater.
seawater.
Oh,
Yeah.
seawater for thesis.
Hopefully the sky clears up by night if I'm going to
True.
try and divine from the pearl.
And if I remember correctly, you also there was something you wanted to go back to Ta'anaz or Hipley's house
To
for, but I don't
study
remember what it
something.
was.
I think to study a book because Dwen had a book that she got from the door. She had a book and visions of the door, I think,
Yes.
while holding the book, and we were going to go back and investigate that. So that was one of the options too. I think we were going to do.
And the door to the tavern opens real slowly, and you see this person come in that is maybe 4 foot tall, kind of a green gray, big long nose, and wearing a jester's cap. And the person at the bar, she says, "You need to get out of here. None of that tonight." And
Oh, is he a jester or is that?
please don't ask.
Does the hat look familiar to me?
It looks like a jester's hat.
Okay, it doesn't look like our jester's hat.
No.
Okay.
No, that would be really interesting.
Thought I still have left.
Suddenly,
And Karen, when you notice that this person not only has a jester's hat, but has little bells on her fingers and on her feet, and on her back, she carries some kind of a percussion instrument that looks like it's made from a gourd or something. You know these people are going to be bored soon enough. All you have for them is food and drinks. We don't need any of that in here. You drive everybody crazy.
honestly, after the day that I think we just had, I think I'd be okay with it.
There you go. Some of your guests would love some entertainment.
I feel like we're gonna regret this.
Oh no.
You won't regret this. Metal one? Metal?
Sure.
Fascinating. May I? And she comes over with her hand out like to knock on you.
I hold out one of my arms to offer the plate
So
on it.
she knocks on you. Is it ring hollow or is it solid sounding?
It's solid.
You must be very, very good in combat. I can't imagine anyone could hurt you.
Yes.
Unless they hurt your heart in some way.
I
You
don't
have
know
a
if I have
heart?
a heart. I have no idea.
Perhaps
never
we should
actually
find that
looked-
out.
Inside myself. If you get anywhere near me with a sharp object, I will punch you across this room.
Let's okay.
Oh,
All right.
never.
Let's okay. Let's make
And
sure
she
that
bows. I was just asking if you would like to dance. I will make you fall in love with me, and then we'll see if you have a heart.
I've never fallen in love before.
Jade, of course you have a
Oh,
of course
that
you
is
have a
so
heart.
sad. Oh, and she does the fake tears thing under her eyes. That's so sad. Never have. How do you know you're alive if you've never lived?
I speak. I think.
Then I will dance with you after. And she puts her hand out to Desus. Would you care for a dance?
I have
And she grabs
sea
your hand
legs.
and pulls you.
Oh, okay.
I'm Yarnia. And
Narnia?
And Karen, when you notice that when she starts to dance, oddly, the music starts becoming very good. Like the bells chime at the right times, the bells on her feet, and even the gourd, she swings back every now and then and hits it, and she creates, it's kind of goofy music, but it is well orchestrated for someone doing it in the middle of dancing. And it's kind of impressive in in a stupid way.
Yeah, like she's interested in this person as like someone who is another bard professionally. But like myself, she's just watching and eating. Dinner, but just very thoughtfully just chewing and being like, what is this person doing? Oh, that's actually pretty good.
And Desus, she is a very good dancer, and you feel like when you're dancing with her, that you're a better dancer than you were before. She leads very well. And
I definitely need leading.
Some of the people start clapping like in the bar, and some of them start getting up and dancing too. That's what I mean, barkeep. Of course, can never leave that alone. Shall I sing to you, Desus?
Sure.
The mad one and the freak are free to seek. The dream is for those who wish to peek. How do you like it so far? I'm still working on it.
It's interesting.
Are locked without their time. Escape comes on a silvery string if one can swim it. Can you swim, Desus?
Yes.
That's excellent, because we're near the ocean, and there are rivers running rampant here. Words bring death inside the mind, unenergized, lost with time awakening. Ravis stole it away, returned anew for the arch view. I don't know where to go with the rest of the song. Can you help me with this? Do you have any words?
You just mentioned Ravis.
She's dancing with Desus, and they're in the middle of a crowd.
Oh, okay. I don't hear that.
No, you heard it, but it kind of pierced through from a distance.
Well, I'm not much of a bard or wordsmith. I'm just a fisher, but I do have a wonderful bard and wordsmith over there.
Oh, I know. That's Cerridwen. She's famous. She's written books.
Yes. Your lyrics are very, very interesting, though.
And she keeps dancing with you. And she starts repeating it a little slower. And as you're dancing, you really feel like you're almost weightless. And finally, she says, you must be getting exhausted. We've been dancing for hours now. Are you tired, or do you feel okay to continue?
Hasn't been long. Doesn't feel like it.
A few minutes.
I think I can still go.
Excellent. I see that you are a lover of the arts. Are you not?
Well, I do carry an instrument with me. I'm just not very good at it.
What? What instrument?
Oh, kind of look in my bag. Yes, I have I did have. It's gone. But I have a little flute.
May I?
Sure.
And she
Right.
takes it and starts playing it while you're dancing, no stopping. And Karen, you hear from outside the dance circle this beautiful flute sound come rolling out. You didn't even know there was a flute in there, but it's played very well. It really synced well with the gourd drum and the bells, like really unusual. And you continue dancing while she plays the flute. And every now and then she like swings out with the flute in one hand and brings it back into you. I think you should take the lead for a little while. You're a master now, I think. We've been doing it for a while, so.
Okay,
You go ahead.
think I can repeat what we've done, and I attempt to recall the steps.
And the steps come to you pretty easily via the recall. And outside the circle, all of you see that Desus has now taken the lead and is leading Yarnia. And when you look out, you realize that the rain is slowed up, but it's also getting dark. And you really feel like you've only been here maybe a half an hour, and it was in the middle of the day.
What did we have to drink?
That was wonderful. And she steps back and bows to you. I want to thank you for a wonderful dance. Perhaps later I'll tell jokes. Do you think that the metal one wishes to dance too?
I kind of look at Jada and then I lean in a little close. I'm like, I'm sure secretly she would absolutely love it.
I will ask again. Excellent. Thank you. And she comes over. Well, Desus says that you would love to dance with me, Metal One. So, and she puts her hand out to you.
Did I notice time passing in a particularly quick way?
Make me a perception check.
Nope. That's a 7. And I cannot roll.
You notice that it's dark outside, so you must have been here for quite a while. Although maybe with the drinking, you kind of lost track of time because.
I didn't drink anything.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
With everyone else drinking, maybe you lost. Something's not right. Time doesn't move that quick.
Did you make time speed up?
I was on the dance floor dancing.
Yes, I know, but when you came in, everything kind of changed a little bit.
Why would
It's dark.
Yarnia do anything like that? It's ridiculous. Nobody can control time.
I didn't say that it was on purpose.
Oh. Well, I don't know then. Maybe
Fair
you did
enough.
it by watching the dance. Maybe we should test that theory and see if when we come back from the dance, if it's still the same time.
Oh, me? No,
Yes.
I don't dance. No,
You don't dance yet.
I don't dance ever.
You don't dance. Perhaps you're an actor.
No.
Theater, would you like to do a play with me tonight?
No.
Cerridwen, would Jada like to be in a play with us, do you think?
How did you know?
I'm pretty sure Jada just said no. I think Jada's more of she like goes through the list of arts in her head and is like
Definitely more of a reader.
I'm sure there's an art
Recite
form that
poetry.
Jada can excel at.
Do you probably have
well enough.
you probably have a clockwork mind. You can orate. Could you recite from a book you've read?
Is that what that means? Jada, there's a second where Jada went, "What did you say about me?"
Sorry.
Can
a
I
6-letter
recite?
word, not a 4-letter word. No, it's a 5-letter word. I had that wrong too.
Math is hard. It's okay. Can I recite from a book I read?
Ooh.
With power and
Oh gosh.
and confidence.
Yes, absolutely I can.
Stand up. Take the stage.
I did not say I would.
Which book are you going to? Okay, good. Oof.
Oh. Now you're breaking my heart. You're not involving yourself in the community. All these people want to hear from you, and everyone's staring at you like waiting and sort of excited.
Well, aren't you the entertainer though?
Completely
So
impassive.
Jada does not feel like doing that. And you're the entertainer. I mean, you have, the
Who said I'm
instruments
an,
now.
Who said
I am
I'm an
not a-
entertainer?
I am not a bard.
I just enjoy dance and song and
And the crowd was
drink.
loving it. I mean, you like you said yourself, the crowd was loving it, and time kind of slowed, maybe because of it. But either way, it's. I think you have the crowd well enough.
It was good. It was very entertaining. I don't do that though.
And Thesis, that was wonderful dancing too. By the way, that was wonderful.
Oh yes,
And
it was. Lovely.
she bows that I will dance with my other friends here in the crowd. And she turns and goes and jumps into the crowd and starts playing and dancing.
Can I try to stop her before she
Oh.
goes?
Make me a dex save to see if you can get her fast enough.
Oh, okay.
an arm.
That's an 11.
But we do.
No, she gets into the crowd and the dance starts.
I'm just
I
like,
mean, you
wait,
can get into
wait.
the crowd. You can go into the dance, and who knows?
She's just like, well,
She was very
how
insistent.
crowded is it? Because she is like conscious of how big she is.
It's not real crowded. Everybody in here, just about, except the few people that you're with, are dancing, but it wasn't real crowded.
Oh, okay.
There's
yeah,
room.
she'll go. And start dancing with them.
Yeah, get her.
Nice. Well, I think
Show her
the
what you're
Cerridwen's
made
a very
of.
good dancer, right? I would
I-
suspect.
I'm sure she's fine. I don't think dance is something she super excels at, but I'm sure she knows
She
how.
has good rhythm.
Yeah, like I can do a performance check. Well, she does.
And
Yeah, she's a 21. So
oh yeah, totally. And Yarnia is super excited when she turns and you're in the crowd dancing. Oh, so wonderful to see you've found your dance legs. And she takes your hand. Shall we?
yes, of course, I'll dance with her.
How do they say it? Cut a rug.
I would
Yeah,
like to take. Sorry, I just want to say, for the sake of it, that I want to pay particular close attention this time.
I assumed at this point. There's something weirding you out with time, so of course. And she
Yeah, so-
starts dancing with you.
yeah. So I'll just dance with her and make small talk. Like, you're really good at dancing. Did you learn from someone or
Well,
self-taught?
I was taught by a mentor whose name I will not speak.
Oh, that's fine.
I imagine you had a mentor where with
Yeah.
your barding. Is barding
Yeah.
a word? I'm not
I'm
Yes,
sure we can
now.
make it a word.
Yes, I love your attitude. Create things instead of follow everyone else's desires. Create a little chaos for the better good, correct?
Yeah, all about stirring up things.
I
You know,
love it.
I was thinking about your lyrics. And you
Sing them
mentioned,
with me.
well, I wanted to ask you about them because not very many people know about Reveus. And I was wondering about how you learned of it.
I don't know the words of what I was singing. They just come to mind when I'm singing them.
Just like there's just gonna be like this.
That
Okay.
doesn't seem true.
I
at all.
see. I see. All right.
And-
So I'll just sing. Well, let's just sing it then, and then I'll sing with her.
Jada, make me an intelligence check.
oh
A
no!
perception intelligence check.
Huh?
A perception check.
Okay. Perception's wisdom.
I know, but not this one. What is your
Oh.
intelligence?
10 now.
10.
Actually, would that level up have taken effect
Yes.
yet? Okay. Let's see how this one does. That's 2.
Like you rolled a number 2.
I rolled a number 2.
Okay. All right, Karen, when you're in there dancing and she goes, "One moment, I must strike at my gourd." And birds fly in through the window. Little birds, little sparrows, and they all land on the sides. And in the middle of this whirlwind of dancing, you see Ku'ulain appear out of this whirlwind mist. You've done well, Yarnia. Thank you for bringing me to Cerridwen.
Oh.
We will have words. Continue dancing, though. The others must be distracted, or else they will see me.
It's just like, you just see her calculate, like, that tracks.
And
Hi.
so you're on track, I've noticed, for performing your task.
Well, I'm certainly trying to find Taliesin.
You still have the chisel.
Yeah.
You also have a companion in the trails behind you, and I wish to bring you something to deal with that. And they reach in and pull out what looks like a big black handkerchief, but an extra big one. You have to continue dancing, Cerridwen. If you don't, the moment we're in will open up for everyone.
Oh, okay. So she just keeps dancing.
Uh-huh.
And they hand you a handkerchief.
Uh-huh. Am I dancing with Quilayan?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Who is an amazing dancer.
Yeah.
They they're the most graceful dancer you've met. And
Okay. So I'll take the handkerchief as like it's part of our dance. Like when we come together, do the handhold, take the handkerchief.
there are other ways to achieve your goals than the road of sacrifice. You should perhaps study your options. And they step back and let go of your hand, and they bow to you, and the birds fly around them, and they just fade back into the mist of the dance. And immediately Yarnia stops dancing with a big boom, and everyone stops dancing, and the light is coming in from the morning, and all of your party is sitting there, and suddenly you see that it's morning. And Yarnia is not there any longer, and Cerridwen is in the middle of a large group of people that all look like they've been dancing and are sweaty and tired, but happy.
Yeah. Everyone. She just kind of lets out a woo. That was fun, and then puts the handkerchief into her pocket and goes to join her party.
And Jada knows there was something not right. So
Who could tell what
now?
it is?
you know there were missed clicks in there. What happened?
So it's morning now, right? So like we all,
Yeah.
so that we're just.
Oh, what was in the drink? Jeez.
What did we? I was gonna say.
I didn't drink anything.
I'll
Oh.
kind
That
of
is
lower.
true, you don't drink.
We were visited by Faye.
Ooh.
Ah,
Oh, That explains a lot.
Good news. I found out that there's more than one way to find talisman.
Oh.
So the clue I got was to study out my options. So I think we need to go back and hit the books at the library. But maybe after we sleep.
And she's holding a big black handkerchief in her hand.
And apparently this is for someone trailing us.
Ooh. Do they have maybe a cold or some sort of sniffling ailment? Well,
Someone trailing.
A companion in the trails behind you. So,
So a good trail.
but something. But
well,
I would hope a companion means good.
I hope a companion means good.
and they're following though.
In the trails behind you, so
So we have to go back? I mean, or do we wait for said person to catch up?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but these things sort of happen no matter what you do. So I think we'll just keep an eye out for anyone in the trail behind us.
I imagine Vesryn's going to inspect that handkerchief.
Detect magic.
With
Black magic.
It is
Probably
magical abjuration magic.
Right? Warding. He's probably old man Vesryn.
Yes, it probably is. Every time he goes to a bar, he changes into an old man, like in disguise.
Yeah, so he can like
I don't
just
even know
tease
why.
younger people. Yeah, he did it to keep a low profile on Elixia. Yeah.
Once. Then he
And,
just kept doing it.
Yeah. And he does it so he can just tease young couples and being like, oh, you two should get married. And they're like, we just met.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those couples that just met.
Hey, that's a sign. It's a sign to get married. You know, it's not the.
Yeah,
Life's
it's
too
always,
short.
it's always good to create marriages that go bad because they don't know each other well enough.
So are we gonna sleep somewhere around here? I mean, I guess we can walk back, but I'm kind of exhausted.
I'll carry you.
Okay, not that exhausted. We can walk. I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I can.
Offer stands forever.
Do we think we can make it there without being exhausted? Or should we?
You could get there. I mean, you're a little tired from the dance, but not
Okay.
exhausted.
All right. I was like, I think I can push through. And then I honestly would rather sleep at Tahanat's estate. So
All right,
beds
it's
are bigger.
which is out of shape and exhausted. Like, yeah. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Get some
let's
cardio
go.
in.
Yes.
Some more cardio.
Okay. All right. Yeah, do we need to go shopping first? I mean, since we're here, we might as well.
Yeah, I would at least like to get that seawater, so if we
Gwen,
do
you
end up
can get the
sleeping
armor
and
too.
at night.
Yeah, I'd like to see what's available.
All right, time to wake up. Is there any I guess we already just drank. I'm a little hungry. Maybe we can get something to eat first. Excuse me, bartender, barkeep, can we maybe have something to? Is anyone else a little hungry? Maybe just me. I don't know.
I don't eat.
Oh,
She's
forgetting
looking
that.
around outside of the window, like really weirded out. I'm closing. I don't know what happened. I have no food ready.
Yeah, I guess you're an evening bar, aren't you?
I'm. Oh my gosh, was I drinking with you guys?
hey,
Time fast forwarded.
We just had some magical visitors come.
I
Time
don't
got a little
understand.
funny.
I don't understand either, but you just learn to go with it. So just
She
you just
takes
go with it.
the shot glasses back and she inspects them all, each one, and puts them in
Yeah.
some water.
I
Trust me,
guess
that's
Oh, maybe
not
we could
going to
find a
help doing
cafe
that.
or something.
there must be a breakfast place somewhere.
Oh, get some bagels.
Bacon.
They have
Ooh,
bacon.
So
Savory
Alright.
breads, yeah. I'm sure there's savory breads like bagels or something.
Yeah, we'll find some
Be
bread.
honest.
Some,
Okay. With little seeds all over them.
yeah.
And
But when I fear it's not gonna be as good as the meat made for us. What was that yesterday? Now wait,
Hmm.
what's next? Was that
Yesterday?
2 days ago? Wait, yeah,
Sorry.
two days ago. Okay, well before. So
Well, I'd be happy to cook. I just don't have a kitchen, so
true.
let's just.
All
Find
right, so
something.
I guess we'll take off. Is everyone?
Yeah.
I dropped the song that that Yarnia was singing into Discord. If you
Oh, cool.
wanted to have a gander at it as you go, and you get your breakfast, and it's delicious. It costs very little, and you're ready for the road.
There we go. All right. So we're looking for a shop for armor, correct? I think I know a couple of places. Would I know a couple places?
Yeah, there's a couple in the crafts area between here and the port.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
And if I remember, you were going to get a glass maker too, because you needed some bottles for the water or something.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get down there, you find all the craftsmen you need. There's the bottles. I mean, glasses is pretty uncommon, except in towns of this size and larger. Luckily, this one's big enough that it supports a glass maker, and there are bottles in there already with cork stoppers. Some of them have wax that they can be stopped up with if you need it stopped more or less permanently until you use something. And you get your bottles. You go to the armor. I'm not going to do all the stores and shops. You get what you need. So, Cerridwen, what are you trying to do with your armor? What do you want made? Or
I just want to see if there's like a pre-made breastplate that I can just wear.
for a Firbolg,
Yeah. Or
pre-made?
yeah. I'm in. I mean, it could happen.
It could.
There's
Yeah,
a couple
okay.
around here.
I'll give it a roll. Nice.
I imagine there's a couple around here.
Let's see. Actually, there is. That I did not expect. It may not be for a Firbolg, but it's for somebody big.
All right. Yeah. She goes around. You see her kind of just sift through the armors. Nope. Oh, that could fit.
And the armor is sort of shocked. I've had that around for years, and no one's ever been big enough. I can't tell you how happy I am to find someone that it fits. So
Well, do you mind if I try it
shall-
on? And
Of course. And he calls over an assistant to help you get it on. And they pull it on and over and around you, and they tie it off in the back. It's a fit. It's a little tight in a place here or there, but I think you could work with this.
well, how much are you asking for this?
All right, I have to look up the cost of a breastplate. Hold on.
I mean, it should be a good deal. It's been sitting around, like you said, for a while. So, hopefully,
Yeah.
should get a pretty...
Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's-
Well,
read
how
it- I
often
read it
is
in a
someone
book,
going to come
so-
along and this could actually fit?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We're kind of doing you a favor because you don't want to hold on to that forever. I mean,
And now
Well,
you have
that's
more
what I'm saying.
space for new inventory.
I love this group effort. This is great.
Yeah,
We're getting this
enjoy it.
deal.
I enjoy
That
it.
group effort is keeping my mouth shut because otherwise I'll harm this.
I think I could let it go for 300 gold pieces.
Ooh, for something that's been what's a little steep for something that's been around for, you said held on to for a year. I mean, a little steep, isn't it?
It's iron. That's hard to
Well-
work.
Are you interested in a trade?
Like what?
She'll take out the ring of extended charm. It's like, this ring is magical. You can extend a charming effect.
Can I have a moment to get this appraised?
Sure.
I'll be back in a moment, and put it in a little box. And they head out the front door.
Oh. That's
I think we should tail them, and I'm just
yeah.
gonna, like,
That's not yeah. That's no.
Yeah, I kind of just walked out the door there.
Vesryn, do you want to send Soul just to keep an eye on that guy?
Why don't I just go with him?
Yeah, that works too.
Wait, I'll go with you. If you wish. And they leave.
It's not like he's never coming back. This is a shop.
It's true. It just made me a little nervous.
And his wife is standing there looking at all of you.
Hello.
Hi, it's a nice shop. How are you today?
Really nice wares.
I've heard people do that with magic beans before, too.
Well, that's why
Better
I'm
not be
being
something like
praised.
that.
That's okay.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, to get it appraised.
If it were me, it wouldn't happen. We can't eat on appraised.
I guess it's
like,
kind of well.
And
So, anyways, but what a lovely shop, though. Because all this, how have you come into such a collection? How have you? I mean, I assume it takes a lot to amass such a, fine collection you have here.
make me a performance check.
Okay.
Or persuasion. It's a persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take
Are you
that.
persuasive?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a 17. So
Oh.
put on the little charm.
It takes a little while, but she starts talking to you about, well, we used to have, better things here when the wars were on, 50 years ago, and since then now we're making mostly fish hooks and anchors for boats.
Do you have a chain?
Of course. You need a chain?
Yeah. Do you have like
You're-
a thin chain?
You're a fisher person?
You could say that.
I have a chain, yes, and she goes into the back and she comes out with a box and there's a chain in there. It's not thin, it's kind of medium weight. The chain links are more like
Links
that.
are pretty big.
Yes. Would
I'm
this
gonna-
work?
Gonna swing it around just in a little circle.
You need to be careful.
It's a little rusty. It's got a little bit of wear on it. It was probably used for something in the water at some point.
Do you have anything else?
I have a bigger chain for
No.
an anchor.
No, thank you. I will give it back.
But yes, but you do have some lovely pictures. I've heard you're probably the best ones in town. So,
Oh, someone said we're the best. That's good. Probably because we're the only
still the best though.
only armorers. I mean, there are blacksmiths, of course, but not making armor like we can.
Ibley, where's the blacksmith?
Oh. So they are right where you just got to take a left, take a couple of rights, and then right there you can't miss them. We'll go there in a second. It's as soon as we get this taken care of. Yes.
And Vesryn comes back with the armorer. And he looks at you for a minute and I can work with this. Yes.
Okay.
We can do it. It's a deal.
I'm gonna lean to Vesryn and be like, what was the appraisal?
I don't know. I wasn't allowed in when they talked.
When are you sure? I mean, I'm gonna talk to it like I did come into a little more money. So I mean, is that ring important? I say it hushed. Yeah.
She's just like, let me think on it, and then she'll
and he kind of like, you can tell he doesn't want to give it back.
Well,
All right, you know what? I will also, make sure that it is bent properly to fit you proper all the way around.
ooh. Well, we'll be in town though.
Well, I mean,
Let's-
we'll be in town. She's just like, I'm now curious about.
Oh, I might have some new leather too to make the straps in the back, better, new. To bring up the
Yes.
quality of those straps. I mean, you don't want it to be held on well over an extended period, correct?
This is so weird. It's
So
like being reverse haggled.
We'll come back. We'll be back. She obviously wants to
back.
think about it, so let's take it back. Trust me. We'll be back. I mean,
Yeah, you said
there's
you're the
plenty of
only
business.
armorer in town, and Gwen is looking for armor. So
And this is the only one that we found that size that fits. So we'll be back.
She's gonna like slowly take
Just
the ring
wait.
back. And
Take it.
And we're out.
Like, quickly leave.
All right, thanks.
Okay, let's get
Bye.
this thing actually appraised. And then she's gonna go. I'll ask Vesryn.
Yeah, we can go see the mage that
Yeah,
Appraised
that
it.
appraised it. And then I'll just walk in and say, I just had this ring appraised by someone else, but I'd like to know what the appraisal was.
maybe a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Yep. You're persuasive. Yeah, charisma.
Yeah,
Could I help? Could I add help to it?
that's 24.
Ooh.
she's fine.
I'm a bard.
It's those bards, man.
Bard.
That's all you need.
Can you help? Not really.
No.
And after a little bit of discussion, you get him to say that he could probably move it for 800 or 900 gold pieces.
That scoundrel.
And she's like, okay, 850?
Oh, you're wishing to sell it? Of course.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would be happy to buy it. It's a very unique ring.
Yeah.
And he goes, give me a moment. I have to get some coin from the back. And he goes back, and he comes back out, and he brings a bag of coins, a big bag of coins. Are you a regular in town? I've not seen you here before. Do you acquire magic items frequently?
We're sort of new, but we do a bit of traveling. Why are you looking to buy more?
It's very rare for a magic item to come through here that isn't remaining with the owner.
Ah.
And this is not a shop. This is a home.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a magic
No, we
shop.
were
here.
all like,
I was
hey.
gonna say,
Well, I'm not originally from here. I'm from Elixia, and we're on a business. We're actually trying to find my son. He's been missing a long time. So
You thought he might be here?
yeah, he goes by Taliesin. No, she'll just say, "Oh, just hang on," and then she'll you probably it's a long shot, but I'll show you anyway, and then she'll use oh, my disguise self is down, so she'll describe him.
No, doesn't recognize.
Worth a
Sounds
shot.
You're only the maybe third or fourth Firbolg I've ever met, so
Yeah.
I would recognize him if he'd come in at some point.
Oh, I'll pull out. Are you learned at all about the blue wastes?
Not very much. I've never been there, and I hope to never go there.
Well, do you know of anyone who might
There's-
be interested? She
Pardon me?
pulls out the talisman of the blue wastes. She says, I know this isn't magical, but do you know anyone who might be interested in something like this?
Not off the top of my head, but I mean, I could ask around.
Well, we won't be around so much. We're planning to go out soon. So, but hey, if we're back and we have more magical items, I'll keep you in mind. What was your name, sir? If I forgot it.
It's Byrne, Byrne.
Beard. Oh. That's a pleasure, Beard. I mean, like she said, we'll definitely back up any more magical items. Especially now that we know that someone might be looking for them to purchase. So,
If you need to find information out about that thing, there's a woman who lives down the main road named Tana. She might know something about it, about the talisman.
Oh,
She's very knowledgeable.
she'll be like, well, I'm sorry to tell you that she has passed.
And his face really, you can tell that it's sorrowful. It drops.
Yes, our companion Hipley here was a personal friend of hers. We attended her funeral. She'll be deeply missed, for sure.
Hipley, you've been with her for a while. I know the name. I don't think we've ever met. And I'm pleased to meet you, to make your acquaintance. And if all I can offer is my condolences, if there's anything you might need, let me know, and if I can, I'll help.
thank you. That and you can also that's more than enough. I appreciate that, but if I'm doing okay, I think, especially with this group of people, look around to them like I'm gonna be okay. But thank you though. She will be missed though. Yeah, it's but yeah, we'll make it through though.
Well, we have to get going. Byrne. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
day.
And you head out.
I'll go back to the armorers. And I'll just go to the armorer.
Okay.
And I'll put 300 coin down and I'll say, how do you feel about 300? The original.
Yeah, yes, of course. 300. And he looks disappointed. Thank you for your business. And he puts the armor out for you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And
He thinks
when you're finished embarrassing him, you can not embarrassing, shaming him.
Yes.
It's more shaming than embarrassing.
You know what? I was wrong. 300 is a great deal. I was wrong to even say anything. So that was a fantastic deal for such a quality piece of armor. Really, that's.
And
yes.
you head out
There,
with
dear.
with your new armor.
Walk out.
And some extra gold.
Not the ring, and money.
Some extra gold.
And money.
Extra gold.
Yeah.
Best shopping ever.
Hopefully, I need a chain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
A chain.
sure.
Oh.
Didn't you say like a fisher?
The blacksmith?
Yes. Oh yes. There's.
Yeah,
I'll take it to the local blacksmith. There's quite a few.
Yeah, there are. And you find one, and there when you find one you like, it's 5 gold pieces for 10 feet.
Okay, and we'll turn to Hipley and hold my hand out.
High five! Yes. Oh, yes. I do have a little more now. Ding, ding.
Turn and give it to the person.
And they take it. They're happy to get it.
I'm happy to receive my chain.
And
Thank you, Hipley.
It's the right weight. It's not rusted like the other one. And you get all your shopping done.
I want to ask what you're going to use it for, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I can show you if you want.
We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait and we'll see.
Why would we wait? I could show you literally right now.
No, we got a long walk, and yeah, so let's
Okay.
I still need to find a glass.
Oh, I thought we found. Yes,
Yeah, we got cork bottled little vials, but I do have to stop by the water to get the seawater.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
How many of them do you want, by the way?
I'll say 3 because 3 is such a fun and nice number.
Okay.
It's a magic number.
Good,
Like
good
6
odd
coppers.
3.
6 coppers.
Okay,
For
6
all of
copper.
them. It's cheap.
Cool.
And you fill them with the water.
Oh, I missed the docks. All right.
All right. Is everyone ready to make the long trek back?
Yeah, I can go.
All right, let's do this. Okay.
And you hit the road. It's a couple hours out, so you'll get there by probably 1 or so, maybe 2. And as you're going out there, you're maybe a mile out, and a cat runs out into the street in front of you, and kind of like, you know how cats will run out and they'll kind of walk in front of you and keep looking back at you like they want to be petted, kind of thing.
I reach out.
Zero. I don't. Wait. Who knows? I mean, after the day we've been having,
And like Dwayne and Desus are both immediately like,
Oh, kitty.
maybe we should. I don't know. I mean, after the.
And then
It's a
another
cat.
cat comes out when you start petting it.
Oh, I have 2 hands for this.
Jada, I don't trust this.
And then
There's
another cat comes out.
Time for my tail.
I'm trying to see where they're coming from.
Can I
Yeah,
try
they're
to see
coming
where
out
they're
of the
coming
woods. They're coming out of the woods
Yeah, maybe
from the direction from the direction you were heading, not just from the side. And 1 or 2 run, like how they climb through your legs, Hipley. They're doing that kind of rubbing it up against your legs.
Okay,
They go
no, that's
through.
very nice. Hippie does not know. No. Okay, there. Yes, get off. Ugh.
And,
They're coming from the woods.
yeah.
Like,
And another
Nothing
one comes
good.
up to you, Cerridwen, and kind of wants to be petted too. And they're very
I don't
friendly cats. They don't seem feral.
Oh, we got
Zero.
a powder of kitties.
No, we do not. I think this is no.
Desus,
Zero.
can you speak to them?
Oh,
We haven't rested, have we?
I have that prepared. No.
I was gonna say I'm like so exhausted.
Well, I can sort of. Well, they can talk to me. She can talk to them, and they can understand her as a Firbolg. But I don't know what they're saying back. So
Oh,
I'll
maybe-
talk to them. They're like, "What?"
That's what they're saying back.
Maybe you can have them. You can have them maybe use a paw. Like maybe ask them something simple. Then they can use a paw to as a yes or no.
Okay. If you have a owner, all right. So yes, 2 meows. No, 1 meow. Do you have an owner?
Rubs its head up against your hand to be petted.
I want to be suspicious, but it's hard.
I know.
Wait, was 2 a yes or was 2 a?
2 is a yes.
2's a yes.
I'm now just
And
sitting
another
on the
one
ground.
meows and- yeah, one of them flops over to be belly petted and all
I
the
don't
stuff.
know if we
they
have
do.
time for this.
We really must be. Oh,
Oh, okay.
Jada, make me a perception check.
Oh boy. Yay.
I had this.
You can't
12.
always roll 2s. 12. Okay. Yeah, there's another cat or 2 coming, enjoying the pets.
Back home,
um,
I had this old codger of a cat we called Crinkle. Looked like he was super fat and fluffy.
Oh,
I love cats. There's so many.
Can you?
All these cats are very different, by the way. There's a yellow one and a calico and a Siamese and a black one and a fluffy one. Like they're all very different. They don't look
This
like
one's
they
a
come
Maine
from
Coon. It's
a
so
family.
Oh.
And cats like this, I mean, what I think I would maybe notice, like, I know there are wild cats. Like, is this like, something that's normal?
You've
Like,
never
would
seen
they-
wildcats this far out of town.
You guys, something is weird. I've never seen them at this over in this area before. Something's not right.
Should we be suspicious?
Yes.
Should we kill these
Yes.
cats?
No. Okay.
No!
Okay.
Do
okay.
not kill the cats.
Okay. We don't have. I mean,
We don't have to. We don't have to. kill
And
them.
I
That's
bring
okay.
in as many of them to me as possible.
If they turn into a
I was
demon,
just
then
asking.
maybe. But
Well, we do
That's a-
have a history of hags following us with animals.
oh,
It's
And
true.
she's just like, but they're so cute. Stop looking at me with those eyes. Jesus, can you make catnip? I know you make flowers bloom.
And
Yes, I can druidcraft. I make a little bit of catnip in my hand and throw it on the ground.
oh, they just fall in love with it. Just like roll
Okay,
All right,
around.
they're
Oh,
distracted.
so
Let's
cute.
run.
Let's escape while we have a
I'm like
second.
taking Desus with me.
Oh dear. Oh.
Christmas Day. Cats.
Christmas.
They're so good against pests and stuff.
Yes,
We
but
can't take all of these cats with us.
I mean,
And, well,
We-
the
Have
thing, you,
a mighty sled led by cats.
you
oh,
you start walking, and even with the catnip, they kind of rub in it for a while, then they start following you, like a little troop of cats, like zigzagging between each other. They're just
They're-
following you.
there are no way cats are going inside the library. You know what cat hair does to no way they're going near any books. No. They gotta. I don't know. We gotta
Okay,
Mm.
say
strictly
to them.
outdoor. It's fine.
Outdoor, but far away though.
And as you get maybe halfway between where you were with the cats and the house, and you see this big white bird walking, a couple of them walking through your yard. Hibble, you didn't really do yard stuff a lot. You don't really know them, but they're pretty big birds. They have long, thin beaks. Desus, you know them to be, and Cerridwen knows. Would Cerridwen know them from Elixia? Probably not. You would know them though as ibises, and you're not sure they.
Ninja cat.
What have we been drinking? What did we drink last night?
What is happening?
What is seriously?
It's
What
just
did we drink?
animals.
What did we drink last night? This is not normal. No.
I
Takes off
know
his
this
monocle,
bird.
just-
And they're eating bugs in the grass.
oh.
I mean, they're good birds.
But they're not. I've never. I mean, okay, I don't do much yardsy outdoor stuff, but still, I've never.
Animals can be just as good omens as they are bad in other ways. So maybe.
I'll use detect magic just to, I don't know, cover the bases. And just... well,
They're not magical. That you.
they're just animals. They're not magical or anything.
Okay, but you have to admit this is kind of. Well, I guess you guys haven't been here, but I'm telling you, I've never seen birds like this. Just hanging outside.
Can
All
I
right, it's fine.
look at Soul and see if she's magical?
Yeah, soul is magical.
Okay. Okay, well, if they were familiars, they'd look magical. So
Well, that is a good sign, but still, just I
they
don't know.
could still just be enthralled cats.
Oh,
And ibises, apparently.
Yeah, they kind of cross the street, and as they're crossing, they kind of look over at you as they walk through the grass and the road, picking at
but you
bugs.
see the way they look at that one just looked. That
Hey,
one
birds
just
are
looked.
smart.
And another one flies in
we're
and
strange
lands
animals to them.
and lands with them, and they kind of move on the ground in like in a pack together.
Should
Picking at
have
bugs,
read
they
those
go.
books. Put off all those animal books I was gonna read.
And they're not even fiction.
I know. As far as we know. Okay, well, let's keep going. It just I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's
Just
the
after the
house.
morning-
Or maybe it's us.
You know, I probably feel like it is kind of us. I
Is
mean,
it something we're carrying, maybe?
But what? That's going to attract animals? I mean,
We were just visited by Fae, so
if it looks at his books, like,
We're
no, it
visited
couldn't
by
be.
Fae. We have a cursed hag item. You know, we got a lot going on.
yeah, it could honestly be anything.
And,
Does it make me feel any better?
And you, as you're walking, Jada, make me a dex check.
Oh,
Oh boy. What's my dexterity? What is? Oh, there it is. Guess what I rolled?
2? A 2.
Yeah.
And
Dud.
Awesome.
you step on this snake that was hidden in the dirt, and it snaps back at you and tries to bite you,
Oh, sorry.
and it hits your metal, and
Okay.
then it tries
just-
slithers out from under
Ow.
your
I
foot.
just gently pick it up by like the back like of its head and just kind of like gently set it down.
I just
over the
point at it.
grass.
I'm just like, what? No. No.
You've seen snakes here
No.
before.
Yes. Okay. But
This one has blue and yellow stripes down the back, which is pretty.
So how come? I was gonna make a zoo reference, but I don't know if they have zoos. No.
a menagerie, I would guess, but probably not.
It does have 2 fangs in the front, so Desus could tell you that is a venomous snake. Or Cerridwen,
Ooh.
either one.
Oh no! I was bit by a venomous snake.
Oh gosh, are you okay?
You aren't bit.
Oh.
It tried to, but you
Ding.
metal.
Chipped its fangs.
Well, at least if anyone that attempted to bite, it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's the best choice.
Yeah, because I mean, we gotta
Watch
go
your
back
step.
Like steps around it. It's okay. We don't mean anything. Just passing.
And the cats, like, they scoot around the snake, like, ooh.
Like, are the birds now following us too, or only the cats?
They crossed your path, but interesting that you say that. They're turning back like they're going to cross your path again in the front of you somewhere.
Okay.
down the street.
Okay.
You didn't notice that.
Okay.
Desus noticed.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So ready.
You're busy
kinda
with the
s-
snake.
Just like this.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stop and like now really like look into the trees and
Make me a perception check.
okay. It is one of my better ones.
At
I've just
20.
accepted this as our life now.
Okay.
This is just
Well,
us.
if we really wanted
16 plus 6.
Ooh.
22.
22, yeah.
There is a tree out in the distance that looks really weird. Like the tree is sort of orangey in color, and instead of having bark, it has sort of circles all around it, and it sort of it comes down, and it's
I just
you don't
kind
even
of
see
put
the
a
top of it. It's there's other trees between you and it. You just see the tree and the stump of it on the ground.
yeah, I put my hand out to Dwen, like Dwen, over there.
And I look
Something
at it.
strange with that tree.
Yeah, it's kind
Aye.
of orangey in color, and
With my detect magic, do I notice anything weird about it?
yes, it is magical.
That's a magic tree.
What is a magic tree? I
Uh,
was looking at
Of
the
course there's a
snake. I look
magic
up.
tree.
And there's a tree out in the distance on the property that's very orange and odd, and
Would Hipley have noticed? I feel like
But-
if it was really stuck out, I think he would. If it's on the property, I think he would have maybe
there's
noticed it. Or
no way that tree was there before. No way.
That is not no. That should not be. That's
I mean, it's
And
not
it's-
like we
and
haven't
it's
met a
magical.
moving tree before.
we have met a moving tree before.
I
Yeah.
mean, he was very nice, or they were very. Yeah, but okay, but no. Hey, no, don't give me no, but not
Okay,
here.
well, we know the tree's not around here normally. Are we gonna just go up to the tree? It's ways off.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to. It's on the property. Oh,
Um,
We could just deal with this tomorrow. We got stuff to do.
Yeah, wake up to 100 more animals outside the door.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
they're-
no,
they're friendly.
Hibley's eyes go big. We gotta take care of this now. Like, no, it doesn't match this little
Okay,
bunch.
let's just go to the tree and see what they want.
Kind of look
Right.
at the cats and the birds and Druidic. I'm like, is this good?
Desus, make me an intelligence check.
Oh, intelligence.
Yeah. You have some intelligence.
I have some. Okay. So 15 plus 2 for 17.
Can you give me your rolls?
The
I wish.
legs of those birds look a whole lot like that tree.
Wait a second.
What?
And then, like, as you're looking back at them, you realize that's not a tree stump. That's a foot.
Oh,
Oh.
Wait a second.
do
Um,
we all see this now?
You just see her take a moment of like, when you see somebody make, do the.
I've connected the
connection,
dots.
Like, oh.
What? Oh, what do you mean?
Need a moment here. Those legs don't look right, and I don't think that's a trunk.
What do you mean on a?
That's a. What do you mean? Could you clarify? That's a weird jump.
That's.
It looks like a foot of something.
You say the orange tree is a foot.
Oh, no.
But
And
That's
then when you
weird.
look at it, you're like, oh, that's a bird foot. It looks just like those birds, but
Is anyone good at
And-
climbing trees?
no.
No.
Guys, trying to climb the tree.
You're limber.
I've seen you move.
I can climb a tree.
I'm pretty sure he would just send Soul, to be honest.
It's
you're
not a
right.
tree. It's
You're
not
right.
a
It's not a
tree.
He's like, I'll just send Soul. What's wrong with you?
And he sends Soul up. And he says, yeah, the body of it is above the tree line, but that's a giant ibis. Like these, like those, but really big.
You see Hipley's face just drop, just like.
Huh.
Well,
That's
okay.
different.
That explains the birds, I guess. It doesn't explain the cats. Is there a giant cat around here too?
Oh, don't
or-
even say,
All right,
don't even
I'm
speak
sorry.
it. No, suddenly. Oh, really? What did we? Is this normal with Faye? I mean, it's just like.
There isn't
It's
a
normal
normal
with the Fae.
Is
She's
it
like, there's
normal?
no normal with the Fae.
And,
No.
and the reason that you're only seeing one leg is the other one is like up in the air, kind of bent, like those birds stand.
If we look up, can we see it? So I
Yeah,
imagine
you
if we
can
just.
see its other claw, like
What in
way
the-
up in the tree line, just sort of its other foot, just sort of, standing with one foot straight and one like that.
I wish I had speak with animals.
Jada,
prepared.
can you hit me? I think I'm dreaming. Can you lightly, Jada, just light look.
I'm
On the
I'm gonna
ground.
take out the black handkerchief, and then I'm just gonna I don't know, give it to the cats. Is this what you want?
No, they just they don't do anything with it. They play with it like a toy when you dangle
Yeah, I
it.
can dangle it. Okay, maybe they're not our companions in the path.
Oh, that's a good idea, but
Apparently not.
Have any of us heard any stories of a giant bird like this, or connected to any
none of the books that I've
tale or
read.
gods?
Not like that big. I mean, you've probably heard of rocks, like those are and thunderbirds in different places, but not giant ibises.
Like I'm honestly kind of a little freaked. Okay, and I'm really freaked out. I mean, I'm kind of amazed though, because just look how giant. Look at that. Look at its.
That thing could step on us and crush us like bugs.
Okay. I didn't. Oh, okay. Not.
I mean, it's
looking down,
true.
looking ahead.
Hmm.
Oh, so maybe we should get. Where are we gonna go? I'm scared to see what's gonna be in the house. To be honest, I mean, this out here. I'm scared to go inside.
Okay. The best thing I got is I cast plant growth. Well, if we make a break for it, I cast plant growth behind us, And then the cats get tangled up in the plant growth. Hopefully the ibises also get tangled up, but they can fly, so I don't know how well that will go. And then we run to the house, and that's really all I got.
Sounds. You know what? And it
That
sounds good enough
sounds
for
good to
me.
me.
So you just say the words.
Okay, so I'll just say, all right, on three, we'll run for it. And then after I get like some distance behind us,
Okay.
I'll cast plant growth. So we're like, okay, 1,
All right.
2,
Whew.
3. Okay, here we go.
Take off.
Cats are all getting stuck by the plants. And the ibis's legs are tangled up and they're flapping their wings trying to get out of it and they're stuck. And you just take off running.
Yeah, Desus is very like,
I look
I'm
up-
very apprehensive about this. I'm like,
Is the giant one? I kind of take a sneak back. Just like, is the giant one doing anything? I'm kind of just running. Like, okay.
Well, I mean,
Not
plant
even
growth
moving.
goes like 150 feet, so
Yeah, it might get to its foot.
Oh.
And as you're running, you see that on the sides of the door, the front door, there are 2 statues of cats. And there's some kind of a pole floating in the air that's striped blue and gold, and it isn't moving. It's not touching the ground. It's just floating there.
Takes off monocle. Just.
I mean, you see it as you're
Rubs the
coming up. You're
monocle.
not even necessarily there. You can-
Oh, not there. Okay. Well. All right.
What is that thing?
this is different.
Can you just grab it?
No, wait, hold on. Don't even.
I'm just gonna grab it.
Are we up there now? Are we?
and your hand goes through it.
That's annoying.
Oh.
I hate this.
huh.
I just
Oh.
walk through it to the
It's
door
an
and open the
illusion.
door.
And you open the door.
Cool.
I'll just follow her. Oh, all right.
So guess we're. Hey, now wait. This is my. Hold on a second.
Sorry.
Hello.
Wait a
Okay.
second.
I just know that every time we come up against something new, you nerds debate about it for like 5 minutes if we actually do something.
Okay. Okay.
5 minutes isn't that long.
It is when you're waiting on it.
I'm not a nerd. Nerds don't read. Okay, so
It's easy
no.
to say when you're not a clock.
Oh, TikTok. Do we? So walk inside. Do we? Does anything look at a?
Before we get to you, Jada, when you walk inside, make me a perception check.
Yay, I love doing that.
I know you keep missing them all night.
2.
I got a 13 this time.
Your clock isn't moving. You don't feel it.
Time stopped.
Oh,
Do we hear that? Because we're all inside
No,
now.
you don't hear it.
So
I'm just gonna walk in since I saw
Okay.
Jada go in. I was just, oh, okay.
Okay.
I walk in.
Glenn.
I stay
Time
outside and
stopped.
just look back around.
what do you? At least we're going. Are we going to come inside with us? I mean,
A cat or two has broken free of the vines. It's kind of
these we're not.
meandering
They're
their
not
way
coming
up.
in. These we can't. They can't come inside. I mean,
I was
they
like,
can
I'm
be on the
just-
outside.
I'm like,
They
the
can be-
door is closing, and
And they come up and instead of they get up on the stairs and they jump onto the statues of the cats.
What? Wait, but we felt the cats, right? Someone felt the cats, right? Because
Yes.
Jada tried. Okay, so we know the cats are there.
Yeah, but they don't go inside. They jump up on the statues and just
But
sit.
how? We just saw Jada.
Jada
Oh, I-
touched the staff thing.
Yeah, I touched
Yeah,
the
she-
pole.
The pole,
I was stupid.
not the
Okay,
statues.
my bad. Never mind. They can't. These I know you like cats, but they cannot. They can't come inside. No, just
They don't seem to want to
Okay.
come inside.
Okay,
Oh.
I will walk. All right, Hipley, you go inside with Jada. I'll stay outside with Thesis. Vesryn can go. Where do you want to go?
I'm really tired. I need to take a nap.
Okay, you can go inside. I'll
Go take a nap.
patrol with
Okay.
Thesis.
Are you sure though? I know you guys are tired too, though. I mean, I don't want you.
Well, I'd
That's
rather
all.
make sure that we're safe-ish. I don't want another
really
surprise.
weird.
It is weird.
I mean,
Thank you.
Where are you patrolling? Tell me what your patrol pattern will be. What do you want to do?
I was thinking we'd just like circle the
Yeah, perimeter of the house.
yeah.
Okay. So, and what are you, Jada, and Hipley doing in the house?
complaining about
Well,
how time is weird.
What? What do you mean time is weird?
I mean, time is weird. I can't feel. I don't know how to explain this to someone
What?
who isn't. a machine, but basically I can feel time exactly. And now I can't.
Has that happened before?
Kind
Or
of. There have been glitches.
so are we?
And only
So
here.
Yeah.
so time's not moving. Okay, so time stopped. There's animals outside. There's a giant abyss outside, and now time is not moving for us. That's I don't think I should be surprised anymore, but I am. I am surprised. Um, do I notice anything weird around the house? I mean, I look around like just expecting anything at this point, but
You mean weirder?
weirder.
Yeah.
Don't say anything weirder around the house. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Can I also see if there's anything amiss?
And you don't. Well, if you're looking outside, you don't really see anything different. It looks
well, and it's just
pretty
inside.
normal
Seems
to what you remember when you were out there. And you do see the giant ibis leg through one of the windows, and you see some of the ibises walking through the grass, and or walking around the house. Cats are finally getting out of all the plant growth, slowly, and they're slowly working their way back to the house and jumping up on the statues and sitting on the statues of the cats on both sides of the doors.
I'm really starting to not like animals very much. No offense to, I mean, no offense to any, but I make sure they're listening to and these outside. Like, I'm not animals. No,
I've never
not
really
right
been
now.
an animal sort of person. I've never really been an organic sort of person.
I was gonna high five, but they said organic people, so I was like, hand down.
Cerridwen and Jesus, can you make me a perception check, please, the two of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
When
use
you're
this
out near the
die.
road.
All right. Total of 19.
25.
Good rolls.
Yeah, those are both good. As you're patrolling and you're nearing the road that comes in, you see that there are a couple of cats that are out by the street or the road, and you see there's an old woman out there who stops in her tracks, looks down at the cats, and the cats hiss at her. And you hear like this sound from behind.
I look behind me and I'm gonna try to find a giant ibis walking.
There are some legs that are going as high as the tree and then coming down, boom, coming this way. And this person is, she turns and you see she has this really ugly old lady look under her cowls.
Oof.
And her eyes open wide, and she turns and starts to move at a pretty quick pace away. And the ibis comes down and its beak stabs into the ground where she was and digs out the dirt, and you don't see her now. You don't know whether it got her or if she disappeared or what. But it tried to eat her. And it turns, looks around, and starts heading back to the yard.
Did it clearly see us?
It may or may not have seen you. It didn't seem to do anything about you.
Did you just see that?
Yeah.
Did you just eat her?
It's hard to say.
Oh,
There's just too much. Oh God, what's in that drink? Okay. Whew.
did
So
this
we have-
old lady look haggy?
Yeah,
That's basically my thought.
I was
Was
like,
do we have another shapeshifter following us? And the cats signaled her off.
On a scale of 1 to hag.
Wow.
she looked like she could have been Haggy.
Oh, well, I don't think I can say for now.
And the
Well,
ibis
if
is
we
going back to its favorite spot.
If we somehow see her
I
again,
missed this ibis before. It's taller than trees. does it eat? It's
It's taller than the trees.
taller than the trees. Where's its? I'm like, where's its nest?
Oh my god, that's a good point. It's a giant nest.
Starting to wonder if maybe we have, I don't know, maybe a secret benefactor or something looking out for us right now.
Maybe.
Because other than the snake being stepped on, which I don't blame it, I would bite if someone stepped on me too. But
Yeah.
the cats were very friendly, and I've only known feral cats to be very standoffish. And well, I've never seen these birds away from their home before. Very unlikely to ever see them here. So
Yeah. Well, let's go back to the house after we make our round, I suppose. I just kind of baffled.
And you
yeah,
continue
and that
around.
time that we including from the moment we saw the cats, has the sun changed in the position in the sky at all?
A little, yeah.
Well,
You
okay.
can tell time's moving here.
All right.
You have a good sense of that.
Right. To the house.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the house when as you explore the timeless home?
So time's not moving, so
Well, you don't know. That's
because we're not aging. Yeah, I'm
Jada
asking, I'm talking to
said.
Jada. Yeah, that's what I'm talking to Jada. So what, like we're not like aging in, like I'm not aging
I
in
mean,
here?
I never age.
Oh, okay, well, so now I'm not aging either though, right? So,
I don't know. Is that how that works?
I mean, usually with, okay, never, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what book to even look in.
Do you
Books
want-
that
Do you want to see what my chain can do?
you know what? Sure. You know what? Show me. I want to see what the chain can do.
I have to test it out.
Okay, let's go. Is
Been a
it,
weird day.
You make it sound so weird, you guys. They're just restringing their rope dart. That's it.
I'm imagining some weapon, just like I heard, like a really dangerous weapon is what I'm imagining.
Well, it is now. They just restring their rope dart so that it's no longer a cord and is a chain instead, and we'll give it a couple of swings.
Well, be careful. Hey, there's lots of. Be careful.
Yes, I know. I'm pretty good at this thing. I've had a lot of practice with it.
And it's true. They can swing that like a beast.
Wow, that's I just hear like the wind just like. Man.
And then I catch it. It's louder than I like, but it'll do.
I mean, hopefully we won't have to use it too often, but I feel like we're going to. Looks around, like I feel like we're going to have to use it.
Hipley,
Probably
as
soon.
long as I've owned this thing, I've had to use it.
Well, maybe if you get rid of it, then maybe it wouldn't work. But well, I guess we can keep looking around. I mean, I'm trying to think of a book that might explain something, but I can't even think of
You should sleep.
anything I've read. I want to sleep, but I don't because everything is so. I'm scared to sleep. Like
That will protect
this
you.
is all. Yeah, but I mean, true. But I mean, can you really protect from like this? Let's at least. I want to at least wait until the others come back inside, so we can all just sit down, just be together. Because I feel like as a group, we're pretty strong. So, and I do appreciate your helping, though. I really appreciate that too.
Outside, the cats are following you as you head back to the house, and they're like running in between your legs and being playful and meowing and And when they get to the house, they jump up onto the cat statues and just sort of, chill.
Um,
Do all the
Friendliest
things
cats.
Do
I
the
like that statue.
The statues weren't here, but when you were here before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna investigate the statue and like touch one to see if it's solid.
Yeah,
And I knock on it. It's not hollow. It's like solid stone.
it's stone.
It's solid stone. I mean, you need to have a lot of manpower to move solid stone. It's heavy.
Yeah. Still
Or-
curious about that
or-
rod.
or drink
Yeah.
That it was like a blue and yellow rod that's
Yeah.
kind of just floating there.
Yes, floating in front of the steps.
I know Jada passed through it, but
Yep.
mm,
It's blue and gold.
blue and gold.
That
Not yellow.
when I say that color, does that color does that color when Hippie had it like way long ago, he saw some of that coloring. Does that coloring do I remember that color at all from that being that I saw? Because I remember it was like
Yes, now that you
bright
think
light.
about it, you do. That was the only colors you really saw inside that temporal space that you had a conversation with.
Jada,
Mm.
I kind of, I don't know. Come with me. I don't know.
I go with Hipley.
Okay.
I think I recognize the color. Like, but remember when Madame Barduso, or did I say that? I think it's we went to that door.
Yeah.
I saw
Barduso.
something. And the coloring, I didn't really see. Like, I saw just like basically it's the coloring, and it's like here. Let me show you that scepter thing. It's like that color. I walk outside, like I'm just like pointing, like it's exactly, and it's those. So I don't know. Maybe
Is this that person that you would try to yell at?
I didn't.
Random
I didn't
directions.
yell. Okay. I didn't. Okay. No, Jada. I didn't yell. I just I may have.
You
Okay.
screamed.
Yes. It's. Thank you for telling everyone. Yes.
You're welcome.
Cerridwen and Dees, as you walk in on this conversation, Jada's saying that Hipley was yelling at somebody, and he's like, "Yeah, I was."
Hey.
All right,
everyone,
well,
you're back.
Well,
the strangest thing happened out there.
yeah.
The bird attacked an old lady
And ate
that the
her?
cats hissed at.
They ate a wait.
Yeah, so we were walking, and then the cats didn't like this old lady.
Yeah, they stopped her on the trail.
They hissed at her, and then the giant ibis came down and swept it up into her beak, and she vanished. So I'm assuming she was eaten.
Yeah, either
Seems
she's
like-
eaten or
Or she
Should
vanished
we
somehow?
be
she could be a
concerned?
shapeshifter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot I don't know right now.
Yeah, we have zero confirmation on any potential good or chaos of this old lady, but it was weird.
Well,
But she was.
Hipley, I mean,
I was just thinking about it was like snarling so much, so just getting that image out of his mind. Okay, just the coloring of that thing outside. That's we went through that door from Madame Bardosa. I think I told everyone this. I saw something. It was really weird. It was bright, and the coloring matches that thing that's outside. So
Oh, okay.
I
Ah,
don't.
so it's Hipley's fault.
Oh,
well,
I mean,
Well, don't you? How? I've been wondering.
yeah, you're.
Hippie, you don't really seem to have. You don't seem to like magic, yet you do it. So,
yeah, yeah. Because when I was younger, I don't know. I don't
you
know.
don't know how you cast it?
No, not really. It just feels almost like it's like in it. So back when I was younger, something, or I don't know, something reached out. I was able to start doing magic. It was cool at first. I was like, okay, whatever, it's interesting. I had never really read anything about it before. It was a
Okay,
weird time.
so I mean,
I don't know.
I'm somewhat familiar with this. The Fae have reached out to me. So, some being reached out to you when you were younger, and you got power from this.
And I stopped for a while because parents weren't too happy with magic, so it's kind of how I ended up here. So I haven't honestly, the first time I've done like any kind of magic was a few days ago with you guys. So I haven't, or not a few days. Well, how long just to travel? So yes, I've only recently done it again.
I've
So
been practicing really.
no, I haven't. I tried reaching out. You can ask Jada. Then I kind of maybe screamed at whoever it was. So, but
Well-
they don't respond. Like, what am I supposed
Well,
to?
clearly they did.
I think whatever is here is here for you.
Yeah, my experience with higher deities and such. Usually they don't respond just in mundane ways. They
Well,
must see the path you're going and are maybe making a point to make sure. that they are watching.
Honestly, I'm just glad I'm not alone because before when I saw whoever it was, I was alone. So having you all here makes me honestly I feel a lot more comfortable with all you guys here with me. So
Oh,
just glad to-
if I was alone and I gestured to the giant bird, I thought I would have ate the wrong mushroom.
Cerridwen kind of like she nods like a little too knowingly. Yeah, I've been there.
Well, what should I mean then? I mean, I will
Here,
talk
here,
to it. I mean, what do I?
Quickly grab Pip as he's still talking and position him between the two cats and the rod. And
Maybe
know, just-
an intelligence check, Hipley and Desus.
all right, let's use this one.
Wow.
Oh, getting good tonight.
That's a 1.
19 plus my
Jesus.
intelligence. 2, so
He's
21.
stealing all the rolls.
I know.
I'm too freaked out. Like usually, I'm actually pretty good at these.
You-
Like,
You have seen this pattern somewhere else too. This blue gold pattern. It was somewhere else. You don't remember exactly where. And then it dawns on you after a few minutes. The business card.
Jada, you have the card still?
Card.
Calling
that
card.
Yeah, calling card. Sorry.
I kind of grab it, and as I had started positioning Hipley in front of the rod, I put the card in front of his face between that and the rod.
What?
And if you look in Discord, there's an image of what is on the back of the card.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
And you recognize the blue gold pattern from the sides of its face.
So I look at the card like you don't think that the
We were told that whatever appears on this card is
I think
what we'll be
what did
watching over
Dwayne say? A
us.
Sphinx, I think it was.
Yeah, that Sphinx.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, we know a Sphinx has been watching us. Maybe it's here to say hello.
Okay, I mean it's free to as long as it doesn't, if it can fit inside. I mean,
I'm sure it's capable of a lot of things. That she sort of gestures towards the cat statues and giant eyes in the distance.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, Okay, I mean, well, can it just? What do I just have to say? Okay,
Well, I mean,
hello?
let's at least go and are we inside the house?
Maybe close the door and
you're
knock
right.
on it.
Let's go inside the house and we'll go
Okay.
together. Okay. And we go inside together.
All huddled.
Hipley feels protected. He's like, okay, well,
Getting strong Wizard of Oz vibes. Part of me really wants to still link arms and skip together.
Not to see the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Sphinx.
And
Okay, so. Oh, and
you
Jada
go-
says time's not moving in here. By the way, they said that there's no
Okay.
time in here.
Definitely sounds like higher being. Okay. Let's see what they have to say.
And you head into the library, and as soon as you all step in, the last step in, books on the shelves slide forward in different places. That's it.
That's creepy.
Okay.
All right.
They don't fall out. They slide forward enough that they stand out, and then they just stay there.
I think something's
So-
giving us a message.
There's another puzzle.
Approach the books.
I mean, you have to get on ladders to get to some of them, but
Yeah, she'll pull one that's close to her.
Make sure your hands are clean.
And she'll
Oh yeah, I pet cats.
um
I did.
Wait.
and they're all books on language of different types, but mostly the older languages, not the new ones so much.
okay.
That's it.
Well, maybe it's
Are they connected somehow? I remember last time Hmm.
I will look at the what are the
And
old what are the languages, actual languages that we're referencing?
They are. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta pull them all up. They are Old Isian, Old Sylvan, Old Elvish, Old Valetian, Old Gnomish, Draconic, an old version of Common, Old Eridanian, Old Eridelian, Old Elixian, Quarry, Kehan, Old Kehan, and Giant.
A lot of languages.
Yep.
Well,
Must be something in them then.
Yeah, I'll pull the ancient Elixian one and look at the cover.
You recognize these books. These books were all of them were ones you were using to sort of understand the book
The code.
Reveus Asunder, to decode, to learn what you could learn.
Okay. So this is I'll turn to the notes and look at the list that Ta'anat had as her like references for decoding it and see if they match up.
They do, except for the infernal, the fiend languages.
Okay, and none of the fiend languages were pushed out.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do we need to does it want us to decode something else? I mean,
I'm not sure. I'll just.
I can't believe books are perplexing me. I feel so ashamed.
Books always perplex me.
And they're about the like language structure itself.
Yes.
Okay. I'll see if there's like a commonality in the structure between the languages, because that's something she's actually studied.
It's hard to tell. I wouldn't say you see a commonality. They all have structure, and they all have their own structure. They're not the same. They all look like they came from, or most of them look like they came from different roots.
Okay. Can I?
Most.
All right. Can I group them by their roots?
By their what?
Can I group the books according to what roots I think they're in?
Sure. Yeah, you can
All right.
probably piece that together pretty well.
Yeah, she separates them. Okay, well now they're in their own root language, grouped. I'm gonna turn to the book of Reveus and
Because we have it transcribed, right? Because I know we were able to go through.
There could be more layers of transcription to this.
Did we go through the whole book or just like the first part? Because we got like that big
No,
story.
whole book.
Okay,
It's not a super long book, actually.
just short one.
Yeah. And you're studying these things just for hours and hours, and eventually you get hungry and tired.
I've been resting. I'm just watching.
Except Jada, who doesn't get either.
And plus, we never slept, so we're double. We're probably like super beyond exhausted
Yeah.
because it's been like a day. Ugh. I mean, I'm tired, but oh yes.
Can I get
Sorry.
a con save from everybody?
Ew,
Jada.
terrible.
Oh, thank God.
Can Natalie roll for us, please?
This will be the one where I completely fail, and then you get Deese's dream.
On save, right?
Oh man, why did I say it? 6.
It's an 18.
I don't know if you snore or not. Probably.
Hipley
Actually,
drools.
dealing
bear
with like
form.
sailors and stuff, she would snore.
Yeah.
I'll learn to sleep on a ship. She'll make all the noise.
What'd you
I
get?
got a 21.
18.
18. Okay. So
Just a long night.
Hipley takes a while to fall asleep, but Jada,
scared,
what
he's
are you
trying
do-
not
What are
to.
you doing? They're all falling asleep in the here, reading books and stuff. They're not even going to bed. They're just like falling asleep reading. What are you doing while this is happening, Jada?
While they're falling asleep.
Yeah, while they're doing all these book things. Cerridwen's still awake.
I'd be like, Jada, don't let us fall asleep, okay? As I'm trying not to doze off, just like,
Sure, Hipley.
ugh.
I'm just gonna like gently push his head down onto the table.
Just
Think we
drools
should-
again.
Yes.
Should we
Mouth
move
tears.
Ugh.
And Cerridwen's looking pretty tired too. Not asleep, but
Yeah, you see her rubbing her eyes and yawning.
You should sleep.
Oh, and then she wrote down what Yarna had sung. And one of the lines is, but a future, it says, the mad one and the freak are free to seek. The dream is for those who wish to peak, but futures are locked without their time. More locked in a place with no time. And it's just like, escape comes on a silvery string if one can swim it. Words bring death inside the mind, unenergized with lost with time awakening. She's just like, I feel like if I go to sleep, we're gonna lose whatever you got. But we don't have much of anything. And then she's just kind of we
Yeah.
haven't got much of anything, so I don't know if that's bad.
You're saying just Hipley just drooling. So you're saying to Hipley just
You said you wrote
make,
it.
like, yeah.
Hipley, make me a
Death save.
Hold on. No.
A mouth.
A mouth save, just drool.
What
Ugh.
kind of books are these?
If I drooled on a book, I would cry. Like, no. That's-
You probably.
I would make sure that he's not drooling on
On a
one of his
book.
precious-
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, good
Yeah.
friend.
I
Thank
would,
you.
I would absolutely, if as soon as people start like falling asleep, I'm going to gently take their books and just place them.
Make me an
I guess in front of
investigation.
them.
Hipley, make me an investigation check.
Okay. Would it be disadvantaged because I'm asleep?
Nope.
Ooh, that's actually not bad. So it's going to be a dirty 20.
Okay. I'll get back to you. Cerridwen, you eventually go to sleep.
She just rub her eyes and then like close the book and just put her head on the table.
Gently move the book.
Slumber party.
And when you fall asleep, you start having like this moment where you open your eyes and you're looking around the room here, and the room sort of fades away and becomes sand. And there are little beetles clicking around in the sand with really long legs, sort of like crickets, but longer in their legs. And it's dusk, and the light's starting to go down, and the crickets start rubbing their legs, and it starts making this violin sound. And it's very obvious to you that that's a song that they're singing, probably to each other or whatever. And you can hear the sand as the wind slowly rolls over, and the sand is hitting the edges of your lute, and you can tell there's a rhythm to that. In the distance, you can see that there's some storm clouds, and they're rumbling a little bit, and they're kind of rolling this rhythm that's almost like a white noise, but it is part of this. And you start to see sort of patterns in the sand, almost like a net made, just on the surface of the sand, and it just sort of fades away in the sound and music. Make me a performance check.
Okay.
On that 20.
This will be okay. That's a 12.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
Hipley, you are sleeping and you wake up really quickly and you realize in your head, have you ever ruminated where you're like, you go to sleep and you keep thinking about what you were doing before? Like, and you like work through problems and stuff that you weren't able to do when you were conscious. You wake up, Jada's in the room there near you, and in your head, you realize there's a pattern in the languages, not necessarily the individual languages, but there are word patterns that your brain kind of connected between the different languages. And everyone else is asleep except you and Jada.
Jada, I think so. I'm gonna wake Dwayne first. I'm gonna tell Jada what I think I found a connection.
He seems delirious, Jada. He's like, what is he talking about?
I figured it out. I
really-
solved it. No, I solved it.
You can solve it in the morning.
I solved.
Go back to bed.
I don't need to sleep. No, this is solved. I got it. I got it. Okay, this is solved. It kind of wipe the drool. Hold on a second. Oh God. This is solved.
Okay.
I gotta wake. Hold on, let me wake Dwayne.
No. Just tell me. We can tell them in the morning.
There's a connection with all of these. Please just let me work up. Because if we figure out now, we can go to sleep. But I don't want to lose this.
In a way, you think that
sleep.
Probably the only way to really get a real like handle on it is to write cards out and put them on a wall or something and like pin strings to them.
I need paper. Hold on. I know where this.
Like an
I know it's my house.
kind of thing.
I was asking where paper was. I know this is my place. I'm gonna go grab some paper and a quill, a writing utensil. I'm gonna wake up Dwayne. You're gonna wake up everybody. So these, I'm gonna wake up. Sorry, I don't mean to wake you, but I think. Sorry, please wake up.
I'm not responsible for this.
This is all Jada's idea. I think I have an idea. Let me grab some paper and start writing it down. Okay. I'm gonna explain to Dwayne what I'm thinking too as I'm writing it down, just quickly scribbling in a neat handwriting, though very, very neat and very legible. Just start writing like a madman, so bunch of cards just everywhere. Just okay. So we have this, and then.
And Hipley, you realize there are words that are rooted between the languages, and it's odd words in the books, not the typical usual words, but ones that are a little longer, a little more almost romantic, like romanticized, prettier words, things like that, across all of them.
It's
not
more
that
like
it means anything.
These words are kind of fictiony, if you ask me, but oh well, whatever. When is that? Do you see that? Where they're all kind of not flowery, but just.
Cerridwen's starting to wake up and open her eyes a little bit to all this mess.
Sorry, the wind was trying to teach me a song.
What? just like
What? What are we talking about?
We're gonna get back to that, but look, I've been. I kind of think. So I wrote down. So I kind of found some connection. I don't know. My brain was kind of going. I think I figured something. I mean, look at these, all kind of odd, and just here I wrote them down. Just if you want to take a
when
look
you
at
get
them.
up, it looks like an investigation wall, like a murder investigation. With words and strings connecting everything.
Yeah, she looks at this, all the string
and
everywhere.
I'm just disheveled, just like looking, just haggard, just like, trust me,
Where's
this
the
is. I
string?
figured it out. Okay.
Yeah, Jada's
just
like
trust
looking
me.
at Dwayne like.
My eyes just wide open, just keeping them awake.
Make me an investigation check, Cerridwen and Jada.
Oh.
This all makes sense. Just trust me.
Oh shit! Ah,
20?
no,
Oh.
Not a 2.
it's not a 2.
I got an 11.
Oh, actually, it's a dirty 20. So kinda, yeah.
Okay. Jada, you're seeing these words, and you're in your head. You're saying them, and you realize there are syllabic connections, like certain numbers of syllables here, certain syllables there, that you think Hipley might be right. There might be a pattern with these words. That because of your clock counting to the letters, your imagined clock, even though you don't necessarily feel time, you would think there's some connection between these, rhythmically maybe.
Dwayne, did you say the wind was trying to teach you a song?
Oh, yeah, I had a dream where the wind was trying to teach me a song. It's not the first time I had nature try to teach me a song.
And these words are also flowery
That's a funny
and
thing to say.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's,
you said that wasn't the first time nature tried to teach you a song
Yeah, they've been happening lately in dreams.
in dreams. Okay,
Uh-huh.
this is. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I am still like almost on the verge of falling back to sleep, and I'm just like, play nature song, Dwayne. And I just roll back.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my lute and just be like, all right,
and maybe these are the lyrics.
okay.
I mean, the words are pretty lyrical. I would say they're more.
No, they're rhythmic. There's something. The syllables, the number of syllables are they correspond to something. How did it go in your dream?
I forgot. I just remember the wind going. Usually I remember these things.
Make me a performance check.
That's a 16.
You can vaguely remember parts of it. You might be able to piece it together a little.
Oh yeah, there's sand, and I see beetles, and it's dusk, and she's kind of like playing here and there according to like what she heard, and then the wind and there's this storm trying to make
Jada,
patterns.
Make me an insight check, Jada.
Say. Well, I'm good at that.
Really?
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. 20 math 4.
So you're calculating her tone, like the strums and the strikes, and you find the spot in all these words that syllabically match the number of things that she played in the frequency she played them.
I will mouth it in time, I guess, basically.
Dun, 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 dun. Like you can kind of figure it out to the words.
And then I'll turn to Hipley and be like, does that mean anything to you?
Just keeps playing it. Like, I just have no idea where this is going.
Yeah.
Okay.
da, 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 da,
Kind of bob ahead to the rhythm, just listening. Okay. Well, I kind of look at the words.
The words sort of fade away as you hear the music, and Cerridwen, make me a. It would be a. It's an investigation check, I think. That's a tough one, but yeah, I think investigation.
Nope. That's a natural 2.
Yeah.
Hey,
These
squad.
Yeah, she's just kind of like so where you're on just like you're so tired, you're just like on repeat. That's what she is doing.
Yeah. But you think that it's obvious there's some kind of music connection to this thing that you're piecing together between all of it.
There's something to do with this.
It has to be some sort of song, right? I mean, with all the
Yeah.
connections and the rhythm. Jada, were you just mouthing? Were you just? Hmm.
Can you all make
Words.
me an investigation check, everyone?
Come on, someone's got to get a 20 out of this. Someone's got to get a 20.
14.
Actually,
Ew.
no, that's a 9.
That's gonna be a
no.
14.
10 actually. That's a 10.
Total of 9 for me.
14.
All right.
Can I roll for Vesryn?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, roll for Vesryn. Why not?
Watch,
Maybe-
watch 20. Watch this.
Could be.
Okay. I gotta bring up his.
Come
sheet.
on, smart boy.
He's gonna detect magic on the.
Oh, I haven't used this die yet.
Well, I don't think he's gonna do that well either. I rolled a 3 for him, so like it is. But his investigation is really high. It might be higher than all of us anyway.
It ain't
He's
high
an-
enough.
I think his
No way.
invest-
It's like if you roll
30.
a 3.
No, it's a 4, so it's a 7. Vesryn's also tired.
Yep.
I feel like we're so close. We're just missing something.
No, we're just
Ah.
right on the cusp of it.
So we know we have the rhythm. We have this song. The words are really odd and kind of almost flowery.
What do the words translate to?
Oh, so I'm gonna read the words. I'm just gonna go through, just read them, and try to. So I know Jada was going through, and they were giving
I'll
like the
give
rhythm. Let's
everybody
see if I
an
can match
intelligence
it.
check. As you read the words, I'll give everyone an intelligence check. Straight up.
Oh, this one. How
Come
you doing?
on.
Oh,
10 total.
Golly.
11 total.
3.
8.
Dice want us to work for this one.
Yeah, they
Yep.
do. They do.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, those words they're interesting.
There's something.
Yep, they are something.
Why can't whatever it is try to connect with? Why can't they just talk? Why they gotta play some like little games like this? You know, it just they can just say, hey, blah 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 blah, and but no, we gotta put in like some weird word connection, music, dream, time
I think it's time for
stopping.
you. I think you should probably go to bed again.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll figure it out the rest of the song if you go back to bed when.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
you guys agree though, right? I mean, they get there's so many easier ways, and just like being like,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Go to sleep.
it's the first time a book's upset me this much in so long.
It's not the book's fault.
True. All right, I guess we'll call it a. It's not a night. I mean, it's time's not been moving. It's a day. It's a night.
Yep. It is that kind of thing.
It's
I'll
something.
I'll continue to ruminate on it while the others sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep this. It's on the. You see it and look next. Yeah, you're good. All right, so it's gonna pass out.
So the rest of you go back to sleep. What are you doing, Jada?
Just thinking on it. I'm just doing the rhythm that Dwin managed to remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just sort of standing in the room with them, just kind of looking at all of it.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. And time seems to pass as far as their bodies are concerned, and eventually you see them start to wake up, one at a time.
Will that be considered a full rest, a long rest?
Yep, you will get a long rest.
Yay.
Yeah.
And you wake up annoyed, probably.
More just
Yeah.
had a good dream than remember what we were doing. Just like, ugh.
And Jada's still there looking at the words. And maybe humming.
Yeah.
Jade, it's fine. I mean, we tried. I feel rested. I'm over it now. It's nah.
Don't give up.
Cerridwen, make me a performance check.
Okay.
Come on, you can get it this time. We have inspiration,
We're
don't
rested.
we?
Yeah, we do. I forgot. I was meaning to say, but we got it last time. I don't think anyone's used it yet.
Oh, can we? Does it carry over?
Oh, that's a good point.
Does it not?
Okay, that's a 23.
Yes.
And you're listening to Jada, and you realize that the musical structure she's humming you've been taught that before at some point. It's some kind of symphonic structure.
She's
Like
okay,
it's
yeah.
bigger than one person could do. There's too much complexity to this. And you start
Okay.
realizing these words, there's the structure here. You're thinking too simply. It's more complicated than that.
She sits up and says, "There's more than one part. There's more than one part.
Part of what?
For the song. There's more than one part to the song.
I
Ripley,
don't
Jada,
sing.
Desus, make me an investigation check.
Come on, something.
Come on, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
Maybe.
Ah!
I'm gonna bring out the big boy. I'm gonna bring out my Dwarven Forge.
Okay, that's
Oh, no.
Gotta hear it on the table.
That's how
Let's
you
go.
do it.
It's
it's an
hard.
eight,
Yeah.
an 18.
Or you're a clone.
Let's go
Okay.
15.
18.
Investigation.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Hey, hey, hey!
Yeah, we
Big
pulled
dice.
together now.
Now we're rested, okay? This is
Yeah.
It takes you a while and you realize suddenly all these words make sense. Every word you see up there, you remember is in that book, that Reveus Asunder book. Every word that you see here, you're like, those are all in that other book.
All these words were in the book. Huh.
Hmm.
Is the book a song?
Wait. I
Oh,
mean, it
maybe.
didn't really. Oh,
I open the book and I try to sing the book.
I'm gonna go back to it. I know it's in Discord. Hold on a second. Let's see those.
Well, you're singing the words, and as you're singing them, you realize there's a rhythm to them that when you speak them isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And you make me an investigation check.
Oh boy. Okay.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Can I help her? Like, can we give like help? You know, like
Yeah.
we're working together.
Yeah.
So I want to give her like help, like whatever I can
Yeah.
do to be like.
You can help her. You get
Guidance.
Oh yes, yes.
Because I have that. I haven't used it yet.
Yes. Guidance, help her. We're all in.
Okay.
Please, Llewyn, help her.
What?
In investigation.
Yep.
25.
Oh,
You
is that with
realize
guidance?
you're looking at the book and you realize the lines individually aren't what matters. Every page is multiple instruments playing at the same time. This is a symphony of music. The book is.
It's a whole symphony.
Oh, what? What?
And to Jada, it makes sense because she could hear the timings of words all through it all night, and it had been click, click, click as it to the rhythm of these words. But when you sing them, the rhythm is a little different and more precise and perfect. And Jada hears that perfection in timing. And Hibley helped you figure that out, and you realize that is not just a book of history.
It has each page is its own symphony. There's just so many layers to this. That's why we couldn't figure it out. There's just
Who here is Fae in their Desus is not, right? Wait, what are you?
Half, because my mom was,
yeah.
and
this
my
is
god is
part of-
connected to Fae.
I
Yeah,
think
so
my parents
you-
are human.
Yeah, you and Cerridwen make me an Arcana check.
Would I be Faye? I don't know what I am.
Okay. 17 total.
Okay,
Hey.
yeah, I just got a 7. I rolled for Vesryn and he got a dirty 20.
You remember something about Desus. You remember in the old days, Fey magic was almost always musical, and it was complicated and required many people to cast. And it was done through music, songs, and instruments working together.
I just see all like singing together. I just I'm just imagining all just singing in unison. Oh gosh.
The Fays operate in kind of an
Yeah, they
orchestral thing.
And you remember
Even
that when Disa says that, you remember that too, Cerridwen. Like, that's
Yeah,
what you remember first. Was the first magics you were ever taught were the magic of music, which is the root of all magic as far as you were trained.
yeah, it's rooted in music.
I
So
suppose that
so are you guys saying this is like Fae? I mean, I guess
It's possible.
related.
It's possible.
at least rooted in that kind of ancient magic, maybe.
I mean, if it's rooted in very ancient magic, the Fae have been around a long time. Their old magic is rooted in music. We just
What if
have
this
an
is a
encounter with
spell?
it. I think it is. I think it's a giant, complex spell book.
Um
Open a
and
gate?
and Hibley's like, wait a second, that
That would make
seems
sense.
so I suppose we definitely should not. So if people like, Tahana died for something like this spell must be
Yeah, this isn't
ridiculously
a child's fairy tale about history. This is
and something's trying to
very
get us to
complex
decode
spell.
this? Is something trying to whoa. So maybe we should not be trying to decode this at all then, right? That seems a little
it's more if we don't want others to have this.
so should we even be like I mean, is it
Well, I think this could potentially be the key to unlocking Reveus, which is where we kind of want to go.
okay?
Because that's
Oh,
where we think people are vanishing to.
oh, right. Okay. Okay. So we
How
do
are they
need
getting
to.
there without this book?
That's
I don't know. They just they call it the it's not asunder. When you're like enlightened and like called away.
Ascension?
kind of
Ascension, yeah.
raptured. Okay.
Yeah, they ascend. And have I seen anyone ascend? Yeah, I was at the
Oh yeah,
yeah, I was at the big party. Yeah,
How-
they just do they just like vanish into thin air or turn to dust or something? What do they do?
they vanish into thin air right in front of people.
They just vanish.
And when they do,
Thin air.
there's a lack of sound left for anywhere from a few minutes to a few days. You call
And
it
then
a sound
there's like
hole.
this void of sound. I mean, so that does seem to correlate. Maybe they do it in some, I don't know. Maybe the songs or what
Were they
how
singing
they've
at all
been.
when they ascended? Was it
No,
they were just
no, it's like a random thing. But I mean, they weren't the one casting spells. Who's ever pulling these ascensions might be casting this spell somehow, or perverting it.
oh, I get okay. So, all right. So then I guess it's good that we are decoding it. Just whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Cerridwen, you know that this you couldn't play this by yourself. You'd have to have a small orchestra to pull it off of really good musicians.
We need to. That.
Hmm?
When we were on Elixia, there was a time when artisans and musicians were being taken and enthralled by the demons. We figured out why they wanted the artisans. They wanted to try to make the chisel. But I never knew why they wanted the musicians. And maybe they wanted the musicians to cast the spell.
Oh. Whoa.
Sense. And they may not have the complete spell, which is why they wanted this book.
This is why they want the book.
And so should we really be like if they want to cast it, I mean, I don't know. This is also new to me. I don't know. That just seems
Well, either way, we're gonna need more musicians.
I'm just worried though if they wanted to cast it, I mean, can it really be lead to anything good? I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I understand You're
Like, I still want to cast it too, but I'm just worried that they wanted to.
don't think Reveus itself is evil. I think it's just a place.
Okay.
Because
Then-
the book still had translations in it, like the history that we learned from it. It was
Yeah, it was a place that
nice
was sealed,
place.
It was a paradise that was sealed away. So I don't. So I think it was just a place, but now I think it could be a bad place that they've taken and perverted because they're taking people to it. So if, like, the reason I want to open this portal is so potentially we can get to wherever this place is and
Maybe
find the
save
people
them.
people who have ascended, find them and bring them back.
Cerridwen, one thing you remember from the island was there were 2 stones that were doing magic during the festivals. There was the one that was apparently the original one, and then there was the corrupting stone that was nearby that seemed to have corrupted the magic of the first. And it was sending them somewhere. It was stealing people away from the island and apparently sending them to somewhere terrible. But it was really supposed to be, if it was only the first stone working, it would allow your spirit to enter the dreams together with people so you could share dreams. But they corrupted it where it took both the body and the spirit and put them somewhere. You don't really know where.
Do you ever end up rescuing these artisans and musicians?
Oh, we set some of them free. What happened was some of the ones that survived had essentially their souls plucked out and plopped into one being.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it's heavy. But on the island there was the original stones, ancient magic that was made to allow people to share their dreams together. But then this other stone called the corrupting stone was made, and it basically perverted the magic. So it took the body and soul away. And I think this is sort of along the same vein, where it's the same place. And we're onto something here.
Cerridwen, make me an insight check.
Okay, I was like, I don't trust any of these dice.
You're all in jail.
I gotta buy some new ones. Hold on.
Insight.
Plus 30 or something? No.
Plus 30.
Plus 30.
It's a 15.
Technically, you still have my guidance if you didn't use it.
I did use it.
Okay.
And it dawns on you that the musicians were being mostly brought from Wythe. The local musicians weren't really good enough, like really good musicians. They were decent. But those people were looking for amazing artists and amazing musicians, like top tier.
Yeah, they were bringing them from Wythe for their skill.
Okay.
You
Wait.
do seem to practice a lot.
Well, Wythe is an island of artists and artisans and
Yeah.
I was gonna
like
say,
a
because it was
pressure
gonna be
cooker
like,
for the arts.
it was gonna say no, well, never mind, because I lost my train of thought. Never mind. I'm actually tired. Darn it. I'll think of it.
There's got to be more than one party involved. Because if the stones already have a way, if who's ever using the stones or whoever made the stones, they're using that, then why would they need this secondary way of opening the portal?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, sorry, go on.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I was wondering that too. Why would the, demons and what have you be trying to get to this place so bad? if they already had a way to steal people away.
So I mean, it must be the way they're doing it must be not a complete way. Then, I mean, I imagine maybe it's not sent to the right place, or
That's what I'm thinking. They
we-
may not have all of the orchestra. They may be missing components.
I've figured that
Songs.
something in Reveus is the one taking the people, and not the demons.
so you're saying something from.
We don't know what's in there. We don't
But
know
the
why
book-
the people are being
But
taken.
there's more than one party, that's for sure.
In the book, and the story ended talking about Reveus, if I remember correctly. It ended on asking like, "Where is Reveus? Yeah, how did the new guys escape, and where is Reveus?" And it ends on like, Wars and creations of
Future gods' wars would be proxy wars, and their creations and others would be drawn every which way in a miasma of struggle. But the question that still remains, though, is how did the new gods escape, and where is Reveus?
Where did they escape from? And it's weird the way it says where is Reveus like that. I don't know. I mean, I get. So, I mean, should we look for musicians then? I mean, are we going to?
Suppose.
It's better
Yeah,
than
if we,
sacrificing people to a door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but-
way better.
And then, like you were saying, we can save a lot of people potentially too if we can get there. And hopefully they're okay wherever this Reveus is. And So I guess I mean
Says that I'm onto something here.
You could do it.
come
There's,
on.
well, like there's all these connections of like the stones and blood magic, because we have on Elixia we have the blood magic stone that allows us to teleport again, portal, and then we have the blood magic stone that was in the wastes, again, portal, teleportation, and then we have just I don't 100% know if it's blood magic, but we have more stone magic that makes people teleport. So that's all in the same vein.
Yeah, the corrupting stone required, it took people. That's blood magic. The beast of broken skulls. That's blood magic. The portal in the waste is blood magic. But the original stone on Elixia was not blood magic.
Okay,
was-
so do we know what's associated with the stones?
The original stone, it has all those ancient runes on them that you've been able to decipher some, and you were able to piece together that it was a gift from one god to another. Right.
And then
They wanted to express their love for one of them wanted it to be a romantic gift to be able to express her love through a dream to the other one that she loved another god and was planning on using it as a way to find a place of solace to through a shared dream experience express this love. But before it was used, the wars began, and the corrupting stone was put there by what you think was Kairos. And it was a deceptive thing. It was made invisible even to the gods. A god can do that. And when the stone was first used, apparently it stole away Kalius, the god of celestial beasts, who was the one who made the first stone.
Yeah, Kalius made the first stone.
Took her spirit and body wherever the corrupting stone directed it to. and Kalius has not been seen since. Karos later was supposedly subsumed by Zinchitrix, the god of chaos. Although there are rumors that...
And it says the god of order was believed to be dead, weakened, so the god of order might be gone too.
But there were rumors that Karos, who is the god of deceit, had left vestiges as a way to return in the future.
Okay. So she explained, she's like, all right, original stone made by Kalius to express her love for this other god. Then Karos, who's the god of deception, also there's like all the demons and such on Elixia served Karos. He made this corrupting stone to basically capture Karos, Kalius.
But it kept going off every periodically.
But
it would build up enough power, and it would just do it during a festival.
And it kept doing it. So I think it's what these ascensions are, just the stone capturing more people, and putting them in this corrupted dream place, which takes body and soul into it. And we know. And then supposedly Karos was basically absorbed by Zinchitrix. But Karos, basically made Horcruxes and put vestiges of himself into items, and then she pulls up like the chisel items, pearl item. I was like, we have vestiges of evil gods, and then she just puts it back in her pocket. She puts it away. And she's like,
should we have vestiges of evil gods?
I mean, we have the book. I mean, honestly, at this point,
there might. Okay, so there's probably another vestige in Reveus, and they want to open up the portal and get there so they can get the other vestige and bring back their god. I don't know. Maybe this is all just a plot to resurrect Karos.
And I think I have an idea. Maybe we can get something to help. Remember that they said, Madam, her name said that. Yes, no, the other one. Beauregard. She said that Tahana she was a patron of something that kept her here. So maybe whatever that is still trying to help, even though she's gone. So maybe, and it's someone who showed us these books being moved. So maybe it's trying to help us. So I don't know.
Well, I was going to say that if Dwayne, you are having dreams about this song, this symphony, something wants us to open this portal. Yeah. We should maybe consider why.
Well, also, we keep running into, to get Taliesin back, we need to open a door.
I was gonna say, what if Talison's even at this?
Maybe he's yeah, maybe he's in Reveus. Maybe all along we've been just trying to get to Reveus.
Could I search for anything that might be here that Tahana would write about her patron? I mean, I guess I already looked at everything that she would have down. I mean,
she didn't leave anything like that written.
Mm-hmm. I figured. Oh, so I guess the plan is to try to get. I felt like the more we learn, I feel like the farther away we're getting from. I don't know.
We learned a lot.
But did we? I mean, I still feel like we're so far, though. We learned a lot, but I feel like. I mean, so are we going to start gathering, musicians? Like, maybe we're going to try to go the same route that those demons did. I wish we didn't kill that demon, because maybe...
Yeah, we could have figured something out from her, yeah. I mean, to be honest, they're never forthright.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the patience for that.
Yeah, she'd end up turning it all on to us and probably get information out of us instead.
Oh.
Yeah, when we had more count, we could use the zone of truth, I think. but I don't have that ability. And she'll like leaf through the Book of Riveus, and it says it also says Ygraine, the Raven of Twilight, fled into hiding in the Feywilds. The Raven of Twilight. Twilight is also dusk. I keep getting dreams about dusk. We learn about a Fey magic. Maybe
A lot of Fey help.
And this is definitely Fey music. You can see patterns that are.
this is definitely Fey.
Old,
Maybe
old,
the
old.
person trying to tell us this is Ygraine.
Is who?
Ygraine, the Raven of Twilight. Old god. Who they fled into the Feywilds a long time ago. So they know how to traverse the plains. And maybe they make this book. Maybe they are the ones that make this spell.
Well, then how does I get the card from I think I have the card now. Then how does this thing play into parts? I mean, is this like one of the
I don't know.
old god things? I mean, is this?
I think you're right. I think there are multiple parties at play here.
I think there's definitely more than one party at play here.
The problem is which one's the right one we should be in play with. You know, I mean.
Well, I mean, I'm more partial to Fae. I'm just more used to them.
They have helped us out. I feel pretty much.
So
I mean,
so far the Fae has been helping me get Taliesin back. That's really what I want the most.
I think that's all that matters. Honestly, everyone is going to have their own motives. They're ulterior or not, they're going to have their own motives for trying to get us to open this portal.
There actually is a motive that part of getting Taliesin back. You were tasked with also using the chisel to carve Kulayan's symbol into the stone, into the portal. That was the ask.
Kulayan asked me to carve his. I'm sorry, it was a long time ago. I have to look at my notes. He wanted me to carve his symbol into which stone?
The portal on the other side. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I can look it up though. It does have a name.
Okay, the portal on the other side. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, they also have their own motive. They want me to carve their.
I don't know if I already said this too, but this being whenever it told me that some words are worth dying for, if that's any sort of help. So I mean, take with that what you will. That's what it said. Some words are worth dying for. And that was before we even got here, though. That was like way back. I'm not in Bordeaux, so we went through the door. So that was before.
And then there's this part. But the primordials were just different from other gods. They could rewrite time and place.
And time got stopped. Wait a second. And time is messed up. Jada,
including the web of chaos and law.
So maybe the primordials are doing what's ever going. Because you just said something's up with time.
It's been up with time in this place, honestly.
So, and cannot the other? I mean, they're the only ones that can really mess with time like that.
Future gods' wars would be proxy wars, meaning through their through their minions, basically, or their champions. So we could be the proxy. I could be a proxy for Ygraine. You could be a proxy for one of the primordials.
I did not ask for that.
Well, I don't think anyone. I don't think any of us asked for it. Well, I mean, okay, so, and I mean, I feel like the ones that we're proxies for seem to be, but I guess it's like you said. I mean, at least we know what we want from this. So, like, we want to save Talos, we want to save the people. So at least our convictions are.
So we're gonna do it. We're gonna open this portal.
For our convictions, at least. I mean, yes, the gods are having their own thing, but I think you guys are right. We need to save people. We need to save Talos, and we need to save who's over there. I mean, That's what matters to us. I mean, yes, the gods are doing whatever they're going to do, but at the end of the day, we can only do what we can do for us and each other. So,
I mean, I
kind of,
don't have a stake in this, but I go where you go. So
yeah, I'm for helping people. I mean, the gods can do whatever they're going to do with it. I feel like they're going to do whatever they're going to do no matter what anyway. So, really, what
I
say
mean,
we
they'll just
to?
find other proxies.
True.
One
So, yeah,
falls, another will simply be cold.
I say let's go to Revea. So let's save Taliesin, let's save the people. I think also Vesryn's mother was there, right? I remember him saying something about his
Yeah,
mom.
yeah.
So let's go do that then.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah. Well, you need to find some musicians then.
I played the triangle one time. I mean, I don't know if that would be like,
So what I can do is sea shanties.
I don't do that.
But
You were
Hipley,
keeping
can you read music so you know exactly when to strike the
Oh.
triangle?
there's books on it, so I'll start learning.
Just
Hipley's
music
gonna start
theory.
learning. He's gonna start music theory right now. It's like, you know what? Grad school
I will
books,
play that
okay, so
When did
this
you
song
become
is
an expert
like
on music
playing
theory?
Beethoven.
Yesterday.
It's like that complex.
we gotta find some really good musicians.
Well, I guess we're going back to Wythe.
I mean, as long as we get crushed or eaten by some giant abyss, looks out the window. I mean,
I think they're there to look out for us. I think we're okay.
Yeah. I think if it wanted to hurt us, it could have done it by now.
Yeah, we were walking out there for a while.
Bugs.
true. All right, so I guess we're going back, and we had to be back there anyways in regards to that child anyway, so we had to return sometime. Ooh, we can
do.
use a door, too.
We can use her door.
Yeah,
to-
Madame
lot quicker.
Bardusa's store. I think Vesryn did pay for a round trip, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I guess sounds like a plan, so I guess we'll take off and go back, find some musicians.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So
My plan.
you get a little bit of your money together, Hipley, so you have a little cash. You get your stuff together, and when you head out the door, that little bar is still out there. The cats are like on the things, and they kind of go out. They kind of jump down when you come out and kind of follow along you. In the distance, off to one side, you see the tree that is really a leg, and the ibises are kind of crisscrossing the land, sort of doing ibis things, eating bugs and frogs
Yeah.
and scouring. And every now and then you see a snake kind of slither away off into the grasses as you come down the road. Oddly, it doesn't feel unsafe for you.
I'm feeling more comfortable about these creatures. I mean, I still don't like it, but I'm not.
They're good.
Can we? Not there
I
yet,
think
but
they're
they're.
just keeping an eye on us.
Jada, make me a perception check.
Come on. 2. If it's a 2, don't even.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna examine this. I'm gonna examine the scepter.
Of course.
I cannot believe this thing rolled another 2. You're going away forever.
You can't do that.
But
It
if
just
it's
goes into
perception,
rehab,
it's
not-
4.
Dice
It's
rehab.
it's not life in prison. It should just go to
Parole.
Gotta give it a cleansing,
It's
put
got
it in a
parole.
spa, then we'll start
Yeah.
feeling better.
maybe it's
I'm more of a
overused.
stick person. I don't know.
Use the stick then.
I'm gonna analyze the little scepter thing that's in front one more time. Just give it a look. I'm gonna ask all of you guys to like. So before we go, like, does anyone have any sort of idea? I mean, because look, it's like related to this thing, this Sphinx thing. Does anyone have any sort of?
No idea.
Unless you have a book about sphinxes in there, I don't think any of us will find anything.
Yeah, I don't. I think back. No, not that I.
No.
Nope, not that I remember getting. All right, let's head off then. Is everyone ready to go? We got all our stuff ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And you head out. You head all the way to town.
Do we have to go through town to get there? Because I thought we went from like there's like a way around we can get to the.
It's at the edge of town, up on a hill.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. A lot of walking.
Yeah.
What time? What time is it?
Yeah, what's the day? Yeah.
What day? What time are we? Are we in? Has it been?
You don't really know. I mean, Jada can feel the time again as soon as you step past that post, but she doesn't know how long of the time difference was. She just knows that it's running.
I'm gonna ask him what the dates. Just gonna ask. Like, excuse me.
Who are you asking?
So if we're walking next base, the first person I see, the first person, like if we walk because we're walking in town, so the first person I see, I'm gonna ask.
Well, you don't
Excuse
see
me.
anybody until you get to Mama Bardusa's, unless you're going to go into town instead of going to Mama Bardusa's.
Oh, we'll go
There's really
straight
nobody
to
on the road.
Gotcha. Okay, that's okay. If there's no on the road, I'm not gonna go to the side for that. We'll just go.
And we can ask her when we make it through.
Yeah, and you get there, you go through the beautiful garden, and that is very nice. And you get to the door, and the old man that runs the cart to take weapons and stuff. Ah, you're finally back. We weren't sure you were going to return.
What do you mean, finally?
How long has it been?
How long is it?
8 years.
You've been gone like 2 months.
Whoa. No.
Oh no.
Well, there goes the hag child.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Oops.
This
Well,
face stuff.
Vesryn did say to contact his family if he didn't come.
True, but 2 months?
It's true.
So
And,
Yeah,
and
2
at what
months.
point? I mean, that could have been at the bar or at the tavern. It could have been at the tavern. It could have been time. Could have 2 months from then. Like what if that whole
No, I
area?
think it was while we were back. Or did all the animals stop following us once we got closer to?
Yeah, once you got to the edge of the woods around the home, they all sort of stopped and fell back into the woods.
Well,
Sorry.
that is kind of so much could have happened.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe we passed that time because whoever is watching us wanted to make sure, maybe to make it seem like we're gone.
sure, maybe. I don't know.
But
Karen,
why?
that music, now that you're out here and you're like thinking about it, it's ridiculously complex. And your
Like,
head's been not calculating, been performing it in your mind, and it's like
Musicalating.
you're not even sure that you're capable of writing it, but you have to hire the musicians. But it'll be your best work for sure.
She's just like,
Magnum opus.
I said a minor seventh. I think so. Oh, that's gonna be tight. And she's just like kind of. You see her just kind of like
Are you
like,
okay?
kind of piecing it. She has a notebook and she's trying
It's
to
got
like
the bardic madness, I swear.
piecing it
And-
out in her just here and there in like little spots. And she's like,
And
I'm just figuring out the song.
and when you're looking at what you've written, now that you're outside of that space, it looks like the scribbles of mad people, but it makes some sort of musical sense.
She's just like,
It just seemed like it wasn't like that there, but out here it seems like, oh my God, what the heck was I doing?
what was I doing? And she's just like, what did I? All right.
I think you need more sleep.
Yeah, well,
2
deciphering
months worth?
ancient Fey music through.
Yeah, I think whatever happened, there's something wanting to help us, but also wants to make sure it is protected.
They definitely want to make us work.
Some kind of help. I mean, so, but what are we? Oh, are we? What are we gonna do with the orb though? That's still connected to the hag. Are we? Because I was
And now
thinking
that
about
we're
that too.
outside and 2 months have gone by, how does Gwen feel? Because she slept.
Yeah, she's fully healed up, and it is fully charged.
What I was gonna say though, because if Char's connected to it, when you scry, does that mean that Char can I mean, I'm still not, very well versed in magic, but I mean, if they're connected,
Did she see it too?
that's
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how. I'm not familiar with hag magic. Maybe. But if she could, why would she need the orb to begin with?
well, I just mean because I know we're looking for talismans. I'm just scared that if when you look for it, like the hag's gonna see, that's the only thing I'm worried about. If the hag knows, I mean, maybe the hag can't get to talisman either, but do you want the hag to know? Is the only thing I'm thinking. I don't know.
I mean, she already knows
We're
I
looking.
want.
Actually,
She already knows I
true,
want to find him, and she
true.
could have. And she, I'm pretty sure she scryed on him beforehand.
That's a good point.
So I feel like it's already known.
And you know that she's connected to the orb. Like, she knows where it is. You already knew that.
Yeah.
So she knows where we. Ooh.
I'd be worried about her being able to have a clearer picture on us.
Yeah, that's not a good. Oh,
Maybe we'll go bury this somewhere before we open a portal to our base.
and so I guess from here, so we're going to take a trip to. Oh no, we can find the musicians here, right?
In a
Because
way,
there's
yeah.
some.
We need to
Well,
go to
when you
Wythe.
get to Wythe, when you cross
Wythe.
through the mirrors.
Yeah.
So I guess is that the plan then? I mean, is there anything else?
I don't need anything else from here.
All right, so I guess we're going to be on to find some musicians. Are we going to hold like a test? Like you're going to
Well,
Audition.
first what we'll need to do is I need to actually get it written down,
Oh, true. Okay.
and then I'll hold auditions. It's very complex music. It's gonna be tough for even me. So we'll
Maybe we
see.
can find maybe it's already like a because the orchestra's already like things, so we can find one that's already just good enough already. I mean,
Yeah,
assume
maybe
there's
that's a good idea. Maybe we could just find an orchestra that will play potentially. I don't know.
we just won't tell them. New song, new. We just play this.
Yeah, no one has to know.
It's fine. It's the worst
No
that can
big deal.
happen.
Ah,
You might be ending the world, but it's
Hmm.
be a
it's for a
fantastic
good
song.
cause.
Trust us, it's fine.
Right.
Fine,
Good
it'll work
cause.
out.
Yep.
All right, so well, is there any way we can help you? But I mean, I'm not really well trained in that, but I mean, can we assist them how make it easy for you to understand? I mean, because I feel bad that you're doing that heavy lifting. We're kind of just here.
Yeah, just leaves in the wind, really.
It's well, if I can think of something, I'll let you know. It's just more of me figuring it out. My own mental gymnastics to do.
Maybe oh no, I was gonna say maybe we should stay where the time wasn't moved, but it did move, so never mind.
I mean, I can work on the music, and then you can ask around for musicians.
Mhm. But I was gonna say if time was different, then maybe if we would have just stayed there. I mean, I guess 2 months, but maybe time was flowing too fast. I was gonna say if we were gonna there that way, time would have been.
If it
Not
was
what it
doing the
was,
opposite
but-
effect, that would have been
Yeah.
nice, but
I think it's no, you're right. I think it's 3 years later we come back. Oh, we had the song.
We've been waiting.
And the butler comes out and says, Madam, Mama Bardusa will be happy to assist you whenever you are prepared and ready.
Okay. I'm
Are you
ready.
prepared and ready now?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
believe so.
Yeah.
Then let's join her in her study.
okay.
And he leads you to her study. And it's full of mirrors, and she takes the key off of her necklace. I see you're back. Ah,
hello.
a little worn for the wear, I see.
Reading's hard.
I don't think we look that bad. I mean, we're kind of straightened up a little bit, but
We've seen a lot.
You all look very tired.
Wait.
yeah, who's not tired? Or
And she takes the key and she snaps the gemstone to it. And she turns the mirror towards the door and puts the key into the mirror. And then she goes over the door and opens the door. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'll
thank
walk
you.
through.
And you step through.
We should have stopped at a
One
bath
another.
first. Darn. Next time.
I'm sure we'll have time.
I mean, we're going into the bathhouse on that island.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
And as you're going through, I think this is a good place for us to end for the night.
Yeah.
It was a
See,
very
this rolls a
complicated
two.
night.
Yeah.
Okay. If that was going to be a 2, I was going to scream, but it wasn't.
If that was going to be a what?
If that was
Two.
a 2, I was going to
Oh.
scream, but
Yeah,
it
my
wasn't, so we're
God.
good.
At least they weren't ones. They weren't critical misses. They were just...
They
Yeah.
might as well have been. They're the halfly
True.
natural 1. Okay? It counts.
If you have -1s to the things you needed, it would have been a dirty 1.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Which that's very rare in D&D. But it happens.
I've had those because I have a character with like -2 in his stuff, so
Yeah.
I've had -1.
Brutal. It's terrible to roll something higher and it drops. Ugh.
You make the situation worse, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was on wisdom save, so it was definitely gotten worse.
I rolled a 16. I have a -2. Oh, it has AC
Yeah.
15.
My favorite is
I
having
guess.
like a -1 or a -2 modifier and then rolling like something that'll give you a 0.
Or that's a negative
Right.
1.
The 0 is my favorite. I mean, I hate it, but it's my favorite. Goose egg.
It's... All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We will see you next Tuesday. We have more craziness, but maybe a little more direction. Who knows? Sounds like it's going to be a very musical evening.
Yeah.
Talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
See you, Nick.